What up, PLW Nation? It's your boy Stein. I'm here, and let me tell you something right before we get going, because we got a few minutes, don't we, Trenchy?
Yeah.
We got a few minutes here. Let me tell you something. I want everybody to sit down and prepare themselves for the most entertaining, electric, energetic, historically couched 3 games of wiffle ball that you have ever watched and that I have ever brought to you. And to help me do that is the one and only great Trenchy. Trenchy, I love being in the booth with you, man.
Yeah, of course. We don't do it that much, so anytime you're up here with me, you know, you're in the driver's seat, let you do your thing. I am just the passenger on this train.
I'm not so sure it'll work out that way. It'll probably be a little bit more even, but let me tell you something. We just watched a great series between my ones and the Snappers. What did you think? What were I was playing in it, so I'd like to hear your impressions of the series.
Listen, when you guys have your squad, you're as dangerous as any team out there, but to me, it's just, are you guys going to be able to sustain that kind of momentum and attendance?
Yeah, you're not wrong. We had Ryan Chen there today. We had Goot, myself, we had AK, we had TP. You look at those first 5 people in the lineup, and then we can just move someone around in that 6 hole.
Yeah.
It becomes a little bit easier to score runs, right? However, on the other end, the Snappers, they were close, but they just couldn't put it together. What did you see out of them?
I'm not seeing the same energy that I've seen out of the Snappers in the past. I feel like they're a little disheveled, a little disheartened. I don't know if it's attendance issues. I don't know if it's just the weekends are getting to them, but something is just not clicking in that Snappers dugout.
I agree. Above all else, they're normally very good hitters, but they struggled at the plate today, and I'm not here to pat myself on the back. It was very difficult to pitch out there. It just felt like it was hard for them to walk guys out, and we had a little bit more ease with that, and that ended up being the difference maker there.
Yeah, and I've said this before. I'll say it again. Right now, the league's very top heavy, and so the bottom, that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, aren't too far off. You know, you make a tiny bit of run, and you're in that 6 hole, you're in that 5 spot.
Well, you know, it's funny. We were talking about it because a week and a half ago, we were ready to blow up the team, trade some guys. We didn't really have the offers that we wanted, though. And as a result, we said, okay, well, hold on, let's put pause on it because we got the Bombers coming up, and then we got the Snappers coming up. Let's just see how those series go. And now you look at the series, and right now, it is, like you said, it is a log jam at the bottom.
Yeah.
By the way, to our awesome fans on Twitch, I'm going to be doing this a couple times throughout the series. We have officially got our TikTok back up and running.
Let's go, TikTok.
We are live streaming on TikTok right now. And let me tell you this, my people on TikTok, you're just watching warm-ups right now. You get one camera angle. You get one little perspective of this game. If you join us on Twitch, you're going to see some crazy camera angles, commentary, replays, back-to-back features, all that good stuff. So if you're on TikTok right now, and I'll say this multiple times throughout the stream, I need you to come to Twitch. And if nothing else, just follow so that you remember to do it next time.
And you do that by how? You go to Premier League, Wiffle, / dot, what is it?
I don't know. Look. My people on TikTok, I know you're youthful. You go on Twitch. You found us here on TikTok. You can find us there on Twitch. We're at the same handle, all right? And to my people on Twitch, I want y'all being active in the chat. I need people gifting subs. I want to hear from the Dragon Lady. Her hubby's playing today in last year's MVP, Trevor Bauer. Do we want to get into a little bit of a preview here?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you mentioned a name that I want to talk about right now is last year's MVP, Trevor Bauer. He's not putting up the numbers that he left off with coming into this season. They're still pretty good numbers, but I think he needs to elevate his game just a notch and get his numbers back up just a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mother Nature is quite upset with us, blowing over plywood, but it's okay. We're going to roll through it. I agree with you 100%. We saw him going. We saw him, starting to find himself last week. He had some big moments against our team, the Ones.
Yeah.
And it'll be nice to see if he can carry that in. Meanwhile, Mateo Fernandez continuing his tirade of this league, going for back-to-back home run king performances?
No, he's not going to get it. There's too much at the top right now. If you look at it, it looks like Gavin Manziel is leading the league. He hasn't even played this week yet. But this is prime Bomber conditions. Right now, it's kind of like a tornado. Right now, it's blowing out, but in 20 minutes, you could be in that vortex, and it comes right back in.
Let me tell you something. I know you go over this with the people, especially to our 181 people on TikTok right now. What you might not be able to see from that camera angle is the wind. And here in Las Vegas, the wind has different channels.
Yeah.
So if you're on the field, it's blowing in one direction. Us here, we're above here in the booth. It's blowing in another direction. There's a third channel above that, and it is swirling today. It is a really rough condition for both hitting and pitching.
Speaking of multiple camera angles, Runnels, do we have a Skycam operator? Give me 1 hit for yes, 2 for no.
We have no one on Skycam, at least not for now. I do see some snappers over there who I bet would be willing to do it. If we could maybe ask them to do it, J-Dub might do it, Taylor might do it. They're good guys.
I mean, after a series loss, it's a little bit harder to stand up here for the next 3 and marinate on what you could have done better.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
From time to time, I have a degree actually in camera operating when I went to UNLV. So
I didn't know you went to UNLV.
I did.
Nice. Very cool. What up, Red Devil? Glad to have
the Red
you
Devil's
here.
there.
The Red Devil's here. Where do I see the streamer count?
Up top.
Up top? Oh, all right, we're at 62 viewers, which isn't bad given that we're just looking at BP right now. Let's talk a little bit about the Lightning. We've gone over the Bombers and a couple of their keys to success. What's the key to success here for the Lightning?
I think it's the guy on the mound right now. Well, not him. You
almost misspoke in a really tragic way, Trench.
It's going to be Dalby. Is Dalby going to be able to perform in these wind conditions? We know what he could do in fast pitch. He's, a god out there. But when he comes down here, Premier League Wiffle, he's got to change his style a little bit. Can it work in his favor going against these Bombers?
It's going to be really interesting to see Randy Dalby, a true veteran of the game. He's been playing longer than some of these guys have known what a wiffle ball is. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the Lightning perform. They have a full squad. They've got Dalby. They've got Hallett. They've got Bruce the Juice. They've got Purdy. They've got everyone they need in this game, as do the Bombers, I should add. We got Hollis Hale here. And it'll be really interesting to see the way that these two teams step up against each other. My friends on TikTok, please remember that if you're watching this batting practice right now, you're going to get a much better view of things if you come on over to Twitch, Premier League Wiffle. To my friends on Twitch, this is the time. Share it with your friends. Share it with the buddies in your stupid-ass softball league. Sorry for cussing. Share it with whoever you need to share it with to get it out there, because I got a feeling, Trench. I got a feeling we're going to see a crazy one.
Listen, I didn't get to say what I wanted to say before everything happened. There's rumors swirling around. There's been some chatter that due to injury, this could be possibly a swan song season for our boy over there,
Bruce the Juice. Yeah, I've heard those rumors too. I don't know about a swan song, but he has a really bad elbow injury right now, and it's hurting him. You know what I mean? It's hurting him, and sometimes you got to take some time off. So he might take season 7 off. I'm not exactly sure what his plan is, but you hate when injury brings down one of the greats in the game.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd rather take some time off now to be able to extend the career than possibly not be able to play at all.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah.
He said, I want to play for a long time, and he can. He's in great shape otherwise.
I mean, when you're seeing players in this league sometimes eclipsing the 50-year-old mark, well, he's got 10 years to go before that happens, and he's just a monster. I think we're a what?
A glasses case. I see some glasses, but not a glasses case.
Yeah. No, I don't see any.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see a glasses case.
Runnels, what do you think? Do we want to get this game going, or is there a timer?
Well, it starts at 4. We're at 3:51.
Oh, okay.
But we'll keep it going here with you all. We are here in the pregame. We got the Lightning taking their warm-ups. We got the Bombers kind of pad-footing around, trying to get that synergy, get that energy together. Cody, I don't know. Can we look at the standings right now? Can we do that, or should I just talk about it off the top of my head? Oh, my goodness. Look at the responsiveness, the speed out of this stream team. Amazing. You take a look at the standings right now, and we got the Lightning and the Bombers within 3 games of each other. The Vipers and the Vaders, they are on top of the world right now, and the Lightning are really just trying to keep up. Meanwhile, the Bombers are trying to separate themselves from your Legends trench and get a hold of that 5 seed, get into that wild card game.
Yeah, I mean, I always root for... I love PLW and I want everybody to do good, but if a Bombers could fold a little bit here. It's going to tighten up that gap and really make things interesting for the Legends versus the Vaders tomorrow. And you know the Vaders, they want to keep pace with those Vipers. So not that the 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, that all doesn't matter to me. You have to win your way to a championship. So
yes.
if you're the best team, you don't care who you're playing. So
that's 100%. You get into the playoffs and then you go.
Yeah. So whether you're the bye week, this, that, whatever, that to me that doesn't matter. It's the people trying to get into the playoffs. And as you know, through sports history and wiffle ball, that if you could just get into the show,
yep,
anything could happen. And if you're good enough to get into the show, that means you have a pretty good squad.
Yeah, right you are, and it's also worth noting that kind of like we talked about earlier, toward the bottom, we've got, everything from the Legends, really all the way through the Ones and the Owls. It looks like the Pharaohs are in a real rough spot, but really through the 9 seed, the Ones, and then moving upward, it looks like, on the whole, we're going to have some competitiveness. Any one of those teams could end up in 6, and that's important, Trench, because, and for those who don't know, the way that this league works is that the bottom 2 teams at the end of the year end up in what's known as a Challengers Tournament, where they play the lower league, the PCL, in a tournament, and if you lose there, you are out of the league. And so what you want is that 6 seed, because if you get into the 7, 8, 9, or 10 seed, you are at risk of playing in that Challengers Tournament. Can't have that.
James Stein, we're looking at Jake Purdy. I'll scan over to him right now on the mound. I believe he leads the league in strikeouts or is tied with possibly Andrew Leday. What do you think he's going to be doing today?
Well, I'm really curious to see how he works in this swirling wind. Now, things might calm down and they might not. But I remember at the start of last season, the wind at this field is so very different from the wind at the ranch. And nobody adjusted to it better than Jake Purdy in those early weeks. It's why the Lightning got out to such an amazing start. Here in Season 6, he's come back down to earth, but only a little bit. He's just not superhuman anymore. He's just elite level pitching. I think that there are maybe 3 or 4 guys who you mention alongside him in this league.
Yeah. One of the people that I think you could get into a good category is somebody that they're missing today, Jay Spur. Justin Spurrier not here for the Lightning, or Tyler Hallett, which was last year's Rookie of the Year. How's that going to impact the Lightning?
Well, I think that, it solves a couple of problems because with Dalby here, you never know who's going to be in the lineup, but at the same time, you're missing depth in the rotation, and you're missing the threat of an outfielder and a hitter like Hallett. Hallett is like an Aaron Judge type, Trench. He's just so big, and as a result, he just doesn't need to swing hard to produce tremendous power.
There's going to be a person we're probably going to end up seeing start a game, I believe, and that's going to be Sparkles. Chad Sparkle Phillips, because their pitching depth right now, no Hallett, no Spurrier, so it's going to be up to probably Chad dealing some innings in this wind.
Well, I think that the Lightning would be wise to take the same approach that we the Ones took against the Snappers, which was we want to ride myself and Chen as hard as we can, and then an inning or 2 out of AK here, an inning or 2 out of Raven there, mostly leave it up to just 2 guys and trust that we're all going to be able to throw strikes. It worked for us. I'm curious to see how it works for the Lightning. And also, Trench, I don't know if you know this, Chad's been here since like 7 in the morning. He was playing in the PCL games.
Yeah, he said he went 2 for 7, pitched a little bit. But listen, maybe that's the kind of warm-up that he needs. But you could tell he doesn't warm up usually this much before a series. So you know that he's going to be ready to get some innings in for sure, as Dalby is seeing the ball very well in batting practice.
Well, yeah, and Chad's just got a twinkle in his eye that he wouldn't have if he didn't think he was going to be playing a bit today. You know what I mean? It's the twinkle in the eye of a guy who says, I'm going to be getting a couple of innings in this one.
Yeah, and he's actually just wearing a jersey. Normally he's in that Tom Hanks knitted sweater type of look, but he looks like he's ready to go today.
Everyone, we are about 4 minutes away from game time. I'm talking to you, my people on TikTok. Listen, if you're on TikTok, come on over to Twitch, same handle. We got the camera angles. We got the commentary. The stream is just a much better quality endeavor. So if you're on TikTok, why not come to Twitch? And if you're on Twitch, give it a share.
Not only that, Stein, when you're on Twitch, we're able to like place wiffle ball point bets on the games, which you could redeem and get signed wiffle balls. You could get signed jerseys. All great stuff going on.
It's true. One thing to look out for, and this was mentioned in the chat, Jake Purdy is only 6 strikeouts away from 600. Talk about a milestone, huh?
Yeah, I think I was talking to Brad, I believe, last week, and I think Briner is real close right there or has it, but Purdy's done it in 100 less innings.
Yeah, he is a strikeout machine. He just has it figured out. He can spot that cutter so well. And he is, again, he's a top pitcher, and he strikes guys out like no one else in this league.
I want to talk a little bit about this guy that I'm going to scan to right now, and that's going to be Maximus. Listen, he's off to a regular max start. Has the ability to really shut down a team. Haven't quite seen it like I've seen it in the past, but I believe today this is going to be a Max game.
This is a huge day for Max as a pitcher, and I'll tell you why, Trench. His specific style of pitching, where he comes down all the way down with that submarine riser, that bodes well today. If you go back, if you watch the way that I was pitching or Taylor was pitching, we were using that submarine riser more than not because it's nice and low. It avoids some of that wind, and it's more of a true pitch than, for example, a screwball or a slider. And so this wind should play to Max's strengths as a pitcher. The question is, can he adjust to the wind and get it in the strike zone when he needs to?
Yeah, speaking to adjusting, looks like he's got a 7-iron out there. He's got a good follow through too. 7-iron. How far are you away from the pin right there if you're using a 7-iron?
Look, that's pin high right there. So as long as he's got the right amount of draw on it, he'll be just fine.
Jaden Trout, possibly the biggest biceps in the league. Look at this guy. I was talking to him earlier. He ingests over 300 grams of protein per day.
It's a lot of protein.
That's like this, that's like if he ate your leg. Maybe both of them.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe the whole thing. Yeah, I think it's a contest, man. I'd like to see him versus Bruce in terms of bicep inches. But they are both shredded, yoked, if you will. You take a look at Bruce right there. And it's funny, you wouldn't really know he's got an elbow situation going on.
Oh, look, he's already holding his elbow.
He's wincing in pain as he swings, and it's just, with an injury like that, an elbow injury like that, you really got to give it rest. I told him he should go off and get a PRP shot. Forget about that. It's plasma-rich something shot. That's what I recommended, but what are you going to do? Folks, we are at 4 o'clock, which means it is time to get going. Balls in. Let's go. You hear my co-host Trench yelling at guys. If they don't clean it up, no one else will.
Let's go.
And it's funny because nobody is more time strict than Chad until it's his team taking back.
Of course.
Funny thing about that. All right, folks, we are at 58 viewers, and since we are about to get started, it is time to up those numbers. I want to start with a nice low number. Let's get to 75. 75 feels fair. We get to 75 viewers on Twitch and on TikTok. Once the action starts, those numbers are going to pop off. So my friends on TikTok, if you're watching, if you're waiting for this game to start, why wait on TikTok when you could just wait on Twitch? You get the multiple camera angles. You get the much clearer stream. You get to see stats and graphics and replays. It's the place to be, quite frankly.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been like that. We're just getting that started once again. I mean, when we were rocking with TikTok, we'd have 400, 500, 700 viewers here on Twitch.
It does happen. We got Jay Spur in the chat. Jay Spur, where you at? Why can't you join your Lightning right now?
He's probably bowling or something.
He might be bowling. I hear he's pretty good at that.
He bowls 300s.
So I got a buddy in Long Island who does that. I'm like, how do you do it? Like I saw him bowl. He was at like a 297 or so. He's like 290, and then he knocked down 8 pins. He ended up with a 298, and I was like, are you not devastated? He's like, I don't really care. And I was like, wow.
Jay Spur, I know he's a big like Colorado guy, Denver guy. I mean, what a season. His Lightning are looking good. The Avalanche happened to get knocked out last night, but a good season for them. And his Denver Nuggets are in a Game 7, I believe, tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow? Oh, are both Game 7? Yeah, you're right, because Game 6 of...
your boys probably. You're a Knicks fan or no?
The Knicks play tomorrow, but yeah, I am a Knicks fan. Unfortunately, I think the Knicks might be cooked. They got a lot of injuries. Wow, apparently Billy Santiwan is a better bowler than Spur.
Really?
I don't know. I imagine Billy bowling knuckleballs.
The ball doesn't roll. It just
Well,
plings.
folks, you can see the balls are off the court, which means we are just about ready to get going. So, Chad's giving the thumbs up. Trevor's giving the thumbs up. Bombers are the home team, so they're going to send their guys out there. Do we know who's starting game one? I imagine it'll probably be Trevor Bauer. That's what they've been doing all season long.
And here we go.
Oh,
Bombers getting ready.
There's an early dispute over who wants which bucket of balls.
Mateo wants the green
He wants
bucket.
the green one. It's a very superstitious league, folks. Alex, let's go. You guys are out there. All right, so here come the Bombers. It's going to be Mateo Fernandez, Alex Fernandez, Hollis Hale, and then presumably 3 other players as well. Probably Hartwell. Here comes Max, and there's Trevor Bauer. Last year's MVP. Off to, as you mentioned, off to a start that I'm sure he would consider slow and most would consider excellent.
Yeah, I consider it. I've been watching him, so it's a little bit slow, but I'll take his numbers any day of the weeks. But it looks like Max might be out there, or is he just... It looks like Max going game one.
It looks. I wonder if it has anything to do with the wind conditions and the fact that his riser should play well, or at least better. Although I will say my knuckleball was going crazy, so Bauer's knuckleball might have something to say about the conditions.
Yeah, we got a couple snappers sticking around. J-Dub working that first base side.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got 3-time MVP Taylor Briner going to be working that left side.
Well, it takes you gotta give a shout out because it takes a lot to first play 3 games and then go for another 3 games umpiring and volunteering. So shouts to the whole stream team today. We are up to 71. I asked for 75, so I'm not going to be pleased until we get another 4 people in there.
We'll get 100.
Maybe some of our 91 TikTok watchers are going to join us on Twitch, where you get the multiple camera angles and the commentary and the replays and all that good stuff.
Don't forget our boy down in the dungeon making all these views happen, Cody Runnels.
I see run. I see run.
You know, listen, I snuck up on him earlier. I think he was dozing off down there.
Well,
He's so good at it.
They got air
He can do
conditioning
it-
down there.
He could do it basically in his sleep. So
Yeah.
he does a great job making sure he goes from camera angles. He's making sure the innings and graphics are right.
This is a league that runs on volunteers, and there are few guys who volunteer more, as Hollis Hale misfires terribly with a practice throw. Few guys volunteer more than Cody Reynolds. It's really Cody, it's Chad, it's you, Trench,
Yeah.
and a couple more as well. Bauer is a guy who volunteers like crazy.
You know, America runs on Duncans, and we run on volunteers.
And Sashi Boba commenting that his teammate has a great haircut, and indeed he does. We are ready to go. Dalby leads off against Maximus. Let's do it. Strike 1 at 53. And what did I say about that riser? Already playing.
I got to really focus here, Steiners. Running camera and trying to help you out.
Oh, focus indeed. Look, I'll just babble and babble
Yeah.
and babble. We're up to 143 on TikTok. We need a couple of you to come over to Twitch to get us to that first channel at 75. Ground ball to Hollis. Hell, he boots it. It's flying around. Alex Fernandez fields it, though. He fires, and that'll be in time.
Stein, tell the TikTok viewers, one, of course, they should come over to Twitch, and then they could go into the link on our chat. But tell them kind of the style that we're playing.
So this is a medium pitch, unscuffed wiffle ball league, yellow bat. You can use tape. You start with 1 strike, and perhaps most importantly, when the ball's put in play, you got 5 seconds to make that play. Otherwise, the runner is safe.
When you say make that play, what do they have to do?
Oh, well, if it's a ground ball, you're going to have to field it and then throw it, hitting either the backstop or the zone on a fly. And, of course, if it's a pop-up or a line drive, you just got to catch it. The pitch, inside to Bruce.
Do you think Bruce's injury is wreaking havoc in his psyche every time he's up to bat?
No, because Bruce strikes me as a bit of a blockhead in a good way, in that his head just empties when he's up at the plate. Pitch is a beautiful beautiful change of pace to get him on the outer tink. We're up to 79 viewers. That's level 1. Let's get up to 100 next.
Yeah,
how about that?
I mean, also what the people are missing on TikTok are the instant replays to really see, because they don't get to see the backside of that pitch because we have a camera all the way out at center field showing what it looks like coming in.
Correct.
Which is a very important camera angle.
We got one person who came from TikTok. Unfortunately, the font color makes it impossible for me to read, but we're glad to have you here. A ground ball past Hollis. What is going on with Hollis Hale, one of the most sure-handed third baseman in the game, now booting one and then letting another go through his legs. I see the TikTok following going down. That's probably because everyone's getting ready to come over to Twitch. Not a bad idea at all, if I do say so myself. 2 outs here. Ball 1.
Tim Ryler, he's a make-or-break type of hitter. It's either strikeout or home run.
Yeah, he's a very 3-outcome player. In talking to him, he said it's something that he wants to work on. He wants to work on going the other way a little bit, but it's hard because when he sees himself hit a home run like that, it's such a sweet swing. How could you change that? Beautiful spot, and just as I predicted, that little riser is doing its thing for Maximus. Bombers get out of the first. They will hit. Coming to the mound, Jake the Snake Purdy.
I mean, this guy is just masterful in the way he pitches. I've said it since I've met him and watched him pitch. He's got the fastest 54-mile-an-hour pitch in the league. It looks like it's coming in hot at 57. It hits the pan. You look back, 54.
Yep, and Purdy, he fashions himself in a very similar way that I do. He goes cutters, he goes risers a lot, moving away from the right-handed batter. And the way that the wind is today, it's not suitable for that kind of pitching. So maybe Purdy will be able to power through it. Me personally, when I was on the mound in the prior series, I was throwing completely different from how I normally throw because I wanted to work with the wind, not against the wind. Let's see how Purdy does. If he does the same thing, or if he says, no, I'm better than the wind, I can cut through it. It'll be very interesting to see as last year's MVP Trevor Bauer digs in. Remember, my folks on Twitch, or I'm sorry, on TikTok, you're only getting one camera angle. And it's mostly just the pitcher. You can't really see the full extent of the at-bat. You're going to get that outfield cam view once you're here on Twitch. So we'd love to have you on Twitch. My people on Twitch, keep it going. What up, Lolo? Good to see you in the chat. Sorry to see your Pharaohs get kind of stomped once again on Thursday. New teams is kind of a rite of passage. I believe that was a screwball from Purdy, which is very uncharacteristic. Grounded, booted. Oh, something's going on the field where guys can't squeeze the ball. He'll field it in plenty of time, though. Remember, you've got a full 5 seconds, and when you're out there, 5 seconds is quite a bit of time.
Yeah. In reality, yes, it is a lot of time, but when you don't field it correctly, every second feels like 2 or 3 seconds, so you're kind of rushing it.
So that's part of being a veteran, you know what I mean? When you've been here for 2, 3, 4 seasons, you learn not to panic, and you learn to just trust your mechanics and do your thing. Mateo fouls that one off.
Yeah, somebody you were talking about pre-game. Can Mateo get the ball in the air? If he does, it will carry.
Purdy going to that screwball again. It looks to me like he understands what's happening with the wind and is trying to adjust, but he's yet to throw a strike with it. And that one misses by a country mile. Full count here now to Mateo. And an early walk would be potentially devastating. Ripped, and it stays fair. Fielded, fired, got out of it. Oh, apparently Spurrier's on his way. He said in chat he's on his way.
Wow, that is big news for the Lightning.
Big indeed. Gives them tremendous pitching depth as Hernandez tomahawks that one foul.
Not only tremendous pitching depth, but immediately Riley's going to be substituted out for Spur, which is a major upgrade offensively.
Yeah, I'm not trying to throw any shade, but you're correct.
I mean, Riley would say that.
Yeah, I think so. Spurrier really coming into his own, not only offensively, but also as a pitcher after struggling with walks a lot last year and in seasons prior, but really throwing a lot of strikes. He looks tremendous out there, a really transformed pitcher.
Oh, he gets Alex really jammed up with a screwball, and Purdy gets out of that, nothing doing for the Bombers as we're going to go into the top of the second.
I'm seeing our newest Twitch viewer asking, who in the world has a whole turf field in their backyard? A madman.
Yeah.
A madman. Next question.
You know, we're lucky enough to have been part of this league for 6 seasons now.
6 seasons, man.
And
you know what's happening after this season, right, Trench?
what?
Free agency.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge thing. If you've been playing for 6 seasons in Premier League Wiffle, after that 6 seasons, you are able to go wherever you want if you're wanted.
Yep, so you can sign with anyone. You have total agency. You can do a sign and trade. You can just full on go to a team. You can say, hey, I'll play, but you got to pay my league fees. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We are up to 83 viewers. I really want to get to 100 viewers by the end of the 3rd inning. So if you're watching on TikTok, come on over and join us on Twitch. Much better camera angles, instant replays, graphics, stats, the whole 9 yards. It's just a better viewing experience, you know? And we got Casey Taravella modding for us on the TikTok account, which you'll love to see, helping us out, letting the people know, hey, you really got to get on Twitch if you want the true Premier League Wiffle experience. Maximus deals. Fouled off by Purdy there. You know, Purdy is known for his pitching, as he should be, but he's really stepped into himself as a hitter. Last year it was, well, he's maybe the 4th or 5th best hitter on the team as he spanks that one. Fielded by Bauer. 1 out. But this season, if you look at his hitting numbers, he's really elevated his level, and he's no longer a guy who you hope he gets a single. He's a guy who you expect to go out there and make things happen. Meanwhile, Max rolling. Real low with that riser, as he would try to be. Again, the wind it's best if you can avoid the wind. The lower you release it from, the better your odds are. As that one's popped up, it's going to curl like crazy. No one fields it. Oh, Hollis was trying to call off Maximus, and as a result, it is an error on the play. And let me tell you something, Trench, because I was just playing in these winds but a series ago. Let me tell you, it is difficult to field a pop-up today. Very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times we've said it, but you give a team an opportunity, it usually comes through right away, but it looks like they're going to try to turn 2 right here.
No, they're not going to turn 2. They're going to flip to second and just take 1 out. A little confusing. That ball was hit hard, and I think that play was turnable there, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, you'd never want to wake up the wiffle ball gods ever, but they are woke and ready right now.
What's that, Trench?
Those are the wiffle ball gods waking up, and they normally don't come out in the day, but today they are alive and well.
Oh, no. What are we about to witness here? Bruce the Juice Hewson, you can see he's batting a little bit lower in that lineup, probably at least in part because of the elbow situation. I think he wants to take fewer at-bats and not aggravate that elbow as a rare strikeout for him. You can tell he's not right.
Injuries, are a thing. Life is a thing.
Yeah.
And we're as much of it as a kid's game, it's not really. It's a very violent game when you take a swing out there.
Well, I've been playing competitive wiffle ball since 2008, Trench, and let me tell you something. This game punishes your body. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about standing out in the sun for 8, 9, 10 hours in a single day.
Yeah.
I'm talking about dead leg, dead arm. The human arm was not meant to throw a ball this light, especially not if you play fast pitch. I'm talking about, blistered, broken toenails. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. You got to stretch. You got to get your sleep. You got to stay hydrated. There are so many levels to competitive wiffle ball. I cannot stress it enough. Purdy
Dead
misses.
leg, dead arm. I'm currently dead weight.
Very nice. So, very uneventful first, as this one's grounded. Off the chest of Bruce. He fires in and he makes the play with no problem. Now, in the last series, we saw, I would say we saw an average amount of hitting. Mm-hmm. There were a number of well-struck balls. There were a few home runs. The wind took a few away. The wind gave it a few away. Right now, we're not seeing anything. There is no action. Soft ground balls galore, and that's it, as a swing and a miss there at another really nasty screwball that, by the way, he's yet to hit the pan with. It'll be interesting to see who draws first blood here in this game. Bottom of the second.
That was a good pitch by Purdy. Barely missed the pan right there.
You know what's so interesting is that as that one's tipped into the zone, as the wind is blowing in from right field out toward left field, you would think that would make it more difficult for Purdy to throw his cutter. However, because of the nature of the wiffle ball, as that one swung on and missed, it actually can produce more movement, pushing it outside and sometimes making it so hard to control that all you can do is groove one down the middle. I think that's why he's incorporating that screwball. He wants to show them something in addition. That'll bring up Hollis Hale. Hollis Hale, season 1 home run king, and when he lays into them, they go a long way. But Hollis Hale, like many of the Bombers, streaky as a hitter, and so when he's down bad, he is down bad. 1-2 the count. Thanks for joining us here on this beautiful day in sunny Las Vegas. We are live on Twitch. We are live on TikTok. I know I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. If you're on TikTok, you are missing out. You are only getting about, I'd say, 15% of the product as Hollis grounds it to Bruce. And that's the end of the second inning. Zeros.
Yeah, real quick.
I'm so loud. It's called projection.
That was a real quick inning by Purdy.
A real quick inning indeed. And let me tell you, I'm going to continue to make this complaint over and over and over again. My people on TikTok, we need you here on Twitch. You are only getting about, like I said, 15% of the product that we offer. You're going to get multiple camera angles. You're going to get commentary 10 times more clear. You're going to get stats. You're going to get replays. It is just a far better experience. Pop that iPad open, get on, I don't know, your laptop, and return to scrolling on TikTok for all I care. Watch this in the background. It's very easy listening, very easy watching. I can't recommend it enough. We need you here. So hop onto Twitch, Premier League Wiffle. We hope to see you there. Meanwhile, we're in the top of the third here, and Maximus is already spinning a gem. Awkward swing to foul that one off. Count 0-2.
Yeah, Max really using that inside cut to jam up Trout right there.
Folks, if you're new, you're going to see that message from Premier League Wiffle. It says bets closing soon. You can bet Wiffle points on these games, trade them in for things like signed balls and shirts and hoodies. It's a fun little thing that we do here. And, you know, we love to gamble. It's not with real cookies, as they like to say. It's with fake cookies, right? But we love the spirit of the degenerate gambler. And so we try to bring that to you here on Twitch. That's another thing you're missing out on if you're only on TikTok. Max misses down low.
You know, I'm not into horse racing by any means, but if I was going to name one, I think the Degenerate Gambler would be a good one.
If I could say one sentence to Nikola Jokic, it would be, please name a horse the Degenerate Gambler. He might. He seems like the type. Full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Oh, boy. Just when you feel like Max is starting to lose it, he comes back out with some sauce like that. Look at this replay. Take a look at this riser. Zero panic, perfect pipe ball, and the next pitch is fouled off by Tim Riley here in his second at bat. We love our TikTok participants. Lolo on TikTok right now, reminding everybody about the superior experience that we offer on Twitch. Max is mowing the lawn with this riser. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing how low it's coming in out of his hand? Goodness gracious, that thing is low. And as a low ball hitter, I like it. Outside, 2-2. The merch store is closed, but you can still trade in your Wiffle points for various trinkets and gadgets, depending on what we have in stock. For example, nobody asked me for it, but I do have my 500th strikeout ball, which I would be willing to sign and auction off for Twitch points. I just don't think anybody wants it.
Riley drew a big walk as Purdy.
That's going to be foul.
Oof.
There's a space toward the side of this field. We call it the Runnels Rough. And you don't go into the rough. It's automatically a dead ball. We can't have guys getting hurt. That one's low.
Putt from the rough.
Jake Purdy trying to help his own cause here. Down 1-2 as that one is looped toward Fernandez. He lays out. He can't get it. Maximus picks it up. Fires. And it is in time. Justin Wilson and Taylor Briner on the call. What a stick-to-itiveness that Max has about him. Sometimes when you're pitching, you can kind of go unconscious and you forget that you're also a fielder. So that's really tremendous. Is this a weekly thing or what? That's the question. We play on weekends. We used to be a Monday through Friday league, but restraints and constrictions made it so that we normally do 3 series on one day, 2 on another, Saturday and Sunday respectively. Every now and then we will have 1 weekday series, but for the most part it's Saturday and Sunday all day, so you can spend your whole weekend watching Whiffs, which, I mean, inject it straight into my veins, Trench.
What's more important? Time with the family or a day watching Whiffs?
I don't have a family.
And Max is done. Tell the viewers at home why Maximus is done after his second walk.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have something called a 2-walk rule in this league. If you walk 2 batters, you are done for the game. Not the series, but the game. And the only exception to that rule is if every single player on the team has pitched and you're the last one, you can walk as many guys as you want to. Have at it.
Yeah, but Max can't come back into the game. He's
correct.
Done.
He is DONE done. And Trench, this is something I've been seeing from the Bombers. Mateo Fernandez is starting to pitch again. And he took like 3 seasons off as a pitcher.
Yeah.
But I think on a day like today where they're missing Kenny Sentiwan and
Jay Spur or they're missing Kenny.
Yeah, they're missing Kenny and they want to save Bauer's innings and Zach hasn't necessarily come into himself as a pitcher just yet. Mateo has stepped up.
Yeah, and you got to remember, Alex Fernandez used to be a workhorse for the Bombers, and he hardly ever takes the mound unless it's a complete emergency situation as Hollis tries to grab that foul ball.
Yeah, I don't know why Alex stopped pitching. I think that he just thinks that his brothers are better than him at pitching and wants to put his team in the best winning position, which could never be me. I want to pitch, but anyway, Dalby in a huge spot here. Oh, my goodness gracious. Grandma's meatball soup. That ball was tink-toinked. Take a look at this replay, folks. Oh, lower outer pipe. Dalby is 6'5". He can't hit that. He can hit a lot of things, but he can't hit that. That replay is brought to you by our sponsor, and our sponsor's name is, hey, if you're watching this on TikTok, you should really come on over to Twitch so you can watch replays, because you didn't get to see that replay. We love having you on TikTok. Your experience will be better on Twitch. I'm just trying to look out for you.
You know when you go to a live sporting event and there's no replay, obviously, it's like, sometimes it's better to watch it at home. That's kind of how it is when you're watching TikTok. You don't get to see the instant replay of what's going on. It's just live, and you don't get to see the dive or if it was foul, fair, all that instant replay stuff.
Yeah, remember, if you're watching on TikTok, and there's a lot of you watching on TikTok right now, this angle that you're watching from is not the primary angle that we feature. The primary angle, my friends on TikTok, if you're looking up toward the back, that container, you see a little house on top of that container? That contains a camera. And that camera is our primary view on Twitch. It's just like watching actual baseball, so I can't stress it enough. You're going to want to get on Twitch. You're going to want to watch it.
Here's Trevor Bauer up to bat, last year's MVP. Looks like he's working on his hip angle. If he could connect on one, it will go for a ride as he takes ball 1 inside.
Yeah, I think that Bauer is about ready to pop off in this league. He is one of the better hitters in this league. And again, by his standards, I'm sure he would say that he wants to be doing better. Swing and a miss. Came into this series hitting about 290. OPSing about 800. So really good numbers.
Yeah.
But if you're Trevor Bauer and you're the MVP, you want to be like 390. So we'll see what he can do here with a 2-2 count.
Going against Purdy is going to be difficult to raise those numbers as he doesn't care who is in the box trying to hit against him.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's what just happened. Purdy threw an absolutely perfect pitch. It hit off the outside pipe, tink, tink. However, it was 56 miles an hour. And in this league, if you don't swing at 56, it's a ball.
Yeah, and Bauer knows that he actually just got frozen, I believe, on that one. Looked back, saw 56, and takes his base.
Yeah, I think he was shocked to see it. Swing and a miss from Mateo. Yeah, so it's a 55 and under league. You can't swing, or you can't throw it any faster than 55 unless the batter swings. You're allowed to swing it whatever you want.
You know, and a lot of these people probably watching good pitch by Purdy. He comes in at 52 and be like, oh, I could hit 55. But the way our mound is a little bit closer than normal.
43 and a half feet.
So it feels like it's coming in a little bit hotter.
55, I believe, is the equivalent of about 85.
Yeah.
Now, remember, you're swinging a really light bat.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not like swinging with a baseball bat. But it's from so much closer, you really need to react. And that's part of what makes it so much fun. The 0-2.
How similar do you think, or the reaction time is from our style to baseball? Do you feel like it's maybe a fraction slower or right on point?
I would say it's pretty similar.
That's pretty close.
It's pretty close. I think there are some times where it's faster in this league simply because there's less distance.
Yeah.
But when you start, for example, if you're playing fast pitch, it's much faster.
Yeah.
But in this league, it's about the same. Purdy is yet to hit the tin with that screwball. He's putting it in such enticing places as Zach Hartwell digs in for the Bombers. So he's not throwing that many strikes, but he's all around the zone. He's known to be a strike thrower, so he can get away with it on a day like this as he pounds the tin at 55 there. 2-2 count to Zach Hartwell, and look at how fast Purdy moves. He's just getting to business as he puts Hartwell down.
Double nickels into the pan, and I've said it before, to Hartwell, that probably looked like it was coming in hot 57. You know, our brains are accustomed to seeing, if you see a 56, 57, you can lay off. You know what that feels like.
Yes.
And it's amazing that our brains are able to do that. But the way he throws, the way he's able to manipulate that ball, it comes in at 54, 55, and all you can do is just walk back to your dugout.
Well, I'll tell you this, Trench. Purdy rarely actually gasses it up. You're rarely going to see above 58 from him.
Yeah, never.
So if I'm facing Purdy, the last thing I'm thinking about is velocity.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about inside, outside because he's so good at dotting the corners on the inside and outside. So when I'm facing Purdy, I want to try and gain control of the zone. Forget about speed. I can hit it. I'm not worried about the speed. I'm worried about the location, swinging at strikes only and hitting where the ball's pitched. We'll see if the Bombers can make that adjustment. But for now, Mateo back on the mound.
Here's Bruce.
Bruce swings and fouls that one off. You know, if he doesn't get a hit soon, we're going to have to start calling him Brucey. I don't want to.
I know he hates that.
I don't want to have to do it.
I mean, even with an injury, we still have to do it, right?
Yeah, especially since he's from Boston, you know. But I don't want to do it because Bruce is just a splendid gent, a fine dude, if you will. Here's Mateo. Inside. Two pitch coming to Bruce from Mateo. Upstairs, and he's worked it full. And, you know, Max walking out could be the difference in this one because Mateo throws such a different style than Max, and the wind is really disagreeable right now, so it's going to be a little bit harder for him. That said, this Bombers rotation gets deep with Bauer and then Fernandez if you need him. No Kenny Senti one, though, so. Ripped off the hands of Maximus. A double shuffle by Hollis Hale and an easy made out there. He's traveling. You know, if he's doing that, and I know Hollis is a basketball player. If he's shuffling like that on the court, I'm calling a travel every time. Gather step my ass. Sorry for cussing. The pitch. Swung on and lifted into center field. Everyone coming in, and Max is there to make the play. Hartwell moved like that was going to be the ball for him out in center, and I think on most days it would be, but the way that this wind is working right now, it's blowing in a different direction on all three channels. Goodness. That'll bring up Riley, his third at bat. And although it feels like the Lightning have had a lot of traction, a lot of traffic, a lot of base runners, 0 runs to show for it as this game speeds by. Swung on and ripped. Oh, a nice bat down by Max. And that is going to be a clean ground out. Let me tell you something. I am seeing so many bat downs today From Greg Kelly to Ryan Murphy, now to the Fernandez brothers batting these balls down. I don't like it, but you are allowed to do it in this league. You're allowed to, what I call, play hockey. You can play hockey in this league, and you know what? I don't blame guys for taking advantage of it. I do myself.
Yeah, I mean, those things are coming, they're laser beams coming at you, and your only reaction sometimes is to deflect it. So when those things happen, you take advantage of it. You always want to be there as kind of a ricochet guy. So anytime something's hit hard to a shortstop, I'm always going to be real close to there because I know that it's not an easy, clean pickup.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, look, I don't necessarily have a problem with batting the ball down in a league like this. For me, it's when you bat it to another guy, but I don't want to open that can of worms.
Yeah.
We can keep Pandora's vagina closed on that one. Sorry for cussing.
Max.
Anyway, is this Max?
Yeah.
That is Max. Look at that. Max digging in against Purdy, who has himself been rolling.
Is Max or is Purdy close? How many strikeouts does he have? Is he close to 600?
Oh boy, that's a great question. He might RPP there. Goodness.
I mean, we're into the fourth.
I should have been counting.
There's been 9 batters. You think he's mowed down 6 already?
Swung on in a fly ball, fielded, went away. Maybe. Probably not.
I think he's got like 3.
Yeah, there's been a fair amount of contact thus far. Let's pretend he has 3. Hollis Hale taking one outside. Now listen, Jake Purdy has yet to hit the tin with that screwball. He's using it well, but he has yet to throw a strike with it. And if I'm the Bombers, I'm taking note of that.
I feel like Hollis is due.
Yeah, he's sure. I mean, the whole team is blue. It's going to go fair. Purdy fires. And is that the most dreaded dribbler of all time?
Yes, that was spinning.
Can we get a replay on that?
I don't know if I got a good shot.
Look at this.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
I thought that was going foul for sure.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what to say other than yeah. So did I. Wow. Okay. So here's Bauer. Way outside, ball 1 at 49, too. A rare 49 from Purdy. He's normally just 53 to 57. Speaking of the devil, 56, and boy, he's so good at spotting that thing low and outside, man. He makes it look like it's going to be a ball, and it's just not.
This is going to be a pitch that Bauer's going to be able to pound right now. And he does, right back to Purdy.
Up the middle, that's going to be the first hit for the Bombers, and boy, oh boy, did they need their MVP there. I see on TikTok we got a question, is this a backyard of a house? You bet it is. And if you want a better view of that backyard, my people on TikTok, the thing to do is to join us on Twitch, where we are streaming with multiple camera angles, instant replays, and much better audio and video quality. The pitch is outside to Mateo. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, a 0-0 score in game 1. Ball 2. Purdy known for working exceptionally fast. The Bombers kind of like it that way. They like to stay in the box and stay engaged as Mateo swings and misses at what would have been ball 3.
Yeah, that's twice Mateo swung at a pitch inside. That would have been a ball.
I'm hearing from the dungeon he already hit 600. So congratulations to Jake Purdy on his 600th strikeout.
Jeez.
He is real good at doing that, man.
The way you're good at that is you're just a consistent, the consistency, right?
Yeah, never backing down, never giving in. I mean, if you look at my numbers this year, I have, not to pat myself on the back, I've got some pretty good strikeout numbers. This year, I've taken a completely different approach based on the wind, and I'm pitching to contact entirely, and my strikeout rate is essentially cut in half as a result. But Purdy, he doesn't care.
Look who
He's
has
here to strike everyone out.
Up.
However, Jake Purdy just walked back-to-back guys. I'm sorry, he just walked his second guy, and that's going to knock him out of the game. And that is a huge blow dealt to this Lightning club as they will go to perennial all-star Randy Dalby as Jay Spur has made it to the field.
Big spot here for Dalby as there are 2 runners on, first and second, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. This is kind of the first time we've seen a threat from either team. This is the first time we've seen somebody in scoring position.
I believe you are correct. This is the first runner in scoring position, and Dalby's a really good player. So he understands conditions, for example, like the wind and, like situational pitching. That said, it's a really good Bombers team, and they hit the ball exceptionally well. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the moment that changes the entire complexion of the game. If the Bombers get a hit, they might run away with it, and if the Lightning can get Alex Fernandez out, then they might bring that momentum with them, and get ready to do something here in the latter stages of this game.
Alex struck out his last at-bat. I don't expect it to happen this time. He usually comes up with very, very clutch hits. But instead takes 54 into the pan.
That ball just floated its way in. Alex Fernandez having a pretty good year. He's OPSing about 1,000, hitting over 300. And so I think he's going to be real happy with his offensive numbers when it's all said and done. But this at-bat is large as Dalby misses low and hot. Remember, anything above 55 miles an hour is a ball. And by the way, my people on TikTok, you don't know what the speed is. As this one's grounded, Dalby nearly does the splits. Fields, fires, good night. As I was saying, my people on TikTok, in addition to the camera angles and the audio and the replays, we also have a full layout which shows you the situation, how many outs there are, what inning it is, and it shows you how fast the ball is going, as well as the timer when the ball is put in play. You just don't get that on TikTok. We would love to be able to do that one day. I think we're working on it. I think GK said he knows how to do it. Our amazing chief engineer, GK, Greg Kelly, says he knows how to do it. It's just a matter of doing it. But for now, the premier experience is here on Twitch. So if you're on TikTok, I implore you to join us on Twitch and get the full experience. Let's get back to the action here. It's the top of the fifth. And Mateo Fernandez is back on the mound in relief of his brother Max. Let's get it going. Oh, a perfect pitch to start things off at 52. Boy, he tickled the taint with that one. Sorry for cussing. Swing and a miss, and Purdy gets the old low-high 1-2, one away.
Yeah, that's what you could do when you hit that lower bar. You could immediately come with a riser and make somebody chase, and that's exactly what Purdy had happen to him.
I agree. And I told you, Mateo Fernandez has started to step into his own. Let me just ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Who do you think's got the best ERA on the Bombers right now? It could be Bauer. It could be Max.
I'm going to say Max.
You're going to say Max. Max has a 4.95 ERA heading into this series. Mateo, 2.16.
Okay, Mateo.
Now, in fairness, Mateo has just surpassed 10 innings. So he's got way fewer innings than his brother or than Kenny Santiwan or Trevor Bauer. But it is an interesting wrinkle in the Bombers' lore as that one is right on in there, 2-2. One out here in the top of the fifth. We got a chat saying the game is great. I love watching it here on Twitch, on TikTok. It's awful. And that's coming from Ireland. So we have an international audience.
Oh, good day, mate.
No.
What?
That's Australia, man.
I botched that.
The Irish accent's a little bit more floaty, a little butterfly to it today. I don't want to disrespect. We love the Irish, and I forget what the Irish say about the British, but there's a 2-word slogan they have about the British, and I'm here to support that phrase because I know it's in it's a funny little phrase that they say. I forget what it is, but anyway, thank you for joining us. You'll love to see it.
If you are new to Twitch, PLW Nation, give them a warm welcome, as we always do for new people in the chat. Let them know how we do it here at the field.
Yeah, hit them with some emojis. Give them the 54 smell ya. I see a question on TikTok. How many innings per game? This is a great time to go over kind of the whole rigmarole, don't you think? So we do 6-inning games. There's a 6-man lineup. You can extend it if you want to 7, 8, 9, 10 if you really want to, but it can't be any higher than 6. And then other than that, it's pretty much baseball rules, other than the fact that you start with 1 strike. It is a medium pitch league, so you can't throw it any faster than 55.
Well, I mean, you can.
Well, you can, but it will be a ball.
If they don't swing at it.
Correct. If you swing at it, all bets are off. But it's an unscuffed medium pitch, 43.5-foot mound.
And you're saying how many games do they play each series?
Oh, it's a 3-game series each week for each team, a total of 54 games across 18 weeks, and then a playoff structure. We'll talk more about the playoffs maybe later in the season or after this game or something like that. No reason to get in the mud with all that now. Right now, we got a bit of a hitter situation here with 1 on and 2 out for Bruce, the Juice, Huson, upstairs. Boy, it's been a real pitcher's duel, and I know they say chicks dig the long ball. Me, I'm a pitcher. I dig a pitcher's duel. I love talking about the mechanics, the choices that are being made, the intricate little details by each pitcher, the way that Mateo Fernandez is working with, as opposed to perhaps against the wind, and how that's affecting his success. We've had 2 walkouts, 1 from each team so far, and we are in the 5th inning. Things are getting late early, folks. If I may say so myself, the Bombers have the Lightning right where they want them.
I believe so, too. We got a really good game going right now.
You got to make this out, because if you make this out, then it's a tie game, and you have twice as many outs as they do. And that's so big. But Bruce the Juice will walk, and that is, I think, Mateo's 2nd walk, and so that'll bring in Trevor Bauer, the MVP of Season 5. And it is going to be a huge situation. We saw 2 on, 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, and Dalby got out of it. Let's see if Trevor can mirror that performance.
Yeah, Bauer, one of those guys in the off season. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, you don't have to practice Wiffle, practice this, practice that. You really have to practice Wiffle to get better.
Look, there's a couple of people out there who don't need to practice, okay? There are some people who have the gift, quote unquote. There are some people who have the gift, and they just, you know what I mean? They don't need to. Bless them. Okay, that's about 1% of the Wiffle population. If you want to succeed in this league, I built a trench.
Yeah.
I built a bullpen and a batting cage in my backyard to stay fresh for this league. It's not a joke. I'm unwell. Bruce Huson, 18 walks, now leading all of PLW, which to me is crazy because if I'm facing Bruce, I know he's got a hurt elbow. I'm putting it right down the lasagna to see if he can put something on ya.
I might even try to go after that elbow, honestly, at least one pitch, see if I can rough him up a little bit.
Hey, you said it, not me, pal.
Here we go. Jaden Trout, once a Warbird, now a Lightning. Imagine going from the bottom to the top.
The pitch. Oh, a beautiful screwball, but it misses low and in. Can Bauer get in here and throw these strikes?
Listen, the Bombers were just in this situation on offense last time as...
Oh, that's a high drive. It is out of here. The rookie clobbers one for the Lightning. And Trevor Bauer stares off into the distance, contemplating the decisions that he has made that have led up to this moment. It's 3-0 Lightning. The hammer is out. And we have a completely rearranged ball game here, Trench.
Yeah, the Bombers were in that situation. They couldn't come through. But Jaden Trout, big time slugfest right there, puts them on the board. What is it, 3-0?
3-0 as Bauer will now miss low and in. So, again, those moments, Dalby comes in, 2 on, 2 out. He manages to get out of it. Bauer comes in, and a home run from a rookie. I'm guessing Bauer was going to just challenge him and say, here you go, I'm better than you. And this time he got beat on that. An absolute blast. Trench, as this one's foul. Trench, if I do say so myself, I would describe that ball as stink, stoink, stompily, stoinkled on out of here.
Say that 3 times real quick.
I don't even remember what it was after the first one.
You could see Bauer in dismay as Trout got a hold of that one.
Well, he's a competitor, so, the main thing here is making out as this one's grounded. Fielded! Oh, but it's going to hit past the line, and that will get the runner over to first. Folks, if you don't understand what just happened, especially if you're on TikTok and you don't have a good angle, that ground ball needs to be kept in front of the single line, that line that you see the infielders. Got to verify to continue. That ball's got to be kept in front of that single line, the line that you see there, as that one is cranked way out of here. Jake Purdy over Hollis Hill. A disrespectfully deep home run off Trevor Bauer, and the wheels have come off with 2 outs in the 5th. All of this with 2 outs. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, and, I don't know if you want to call it. Do you think that was an error over there on the left side?
Yeah, that's 100% an error. That play needs to be made 100%. And with a team like the Lightning, you make a mistake, they punish you instantly. And Jake Purdy absolutely doinks one over not only the wall, but over all of Hollis Hill, which is a difficult feat, especially in such odd wind. Oh boy, Bauer is going to need to take a moment for himself here. You got to come back from this. You just got to get your team back in there, and you got to hit.
Ooh, nasty pitch.
Yeah, it's nasty, but now he's missing. I think he's getting a little frustrated, and he's got to cool it down, calm it down. He just got thunderstruck by the lightning, and it's time to relax. Fouled off, 2-2. Boy, I got to tell you,
What?
this Bombers energy, even before the home run, it was so positive, and now it's now just different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Oh, that one's laced. That's going to be a clean base hit for Jay Spur.
I remember, and this one's not over by any stretch, but the Bombers always believe in themselves, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you can feel when they don't. And this is like one of those moments.
Yep. You know who's like that? The ONEs. We get like that too. We believe in ourselves until we don't. Little ground ball back to Trevor. He's going to stumble, field fire, and boy, oh boy, was that a rough stretch for the Bombers. Did I not just say the Bombers have the Lightning right where they want them? I just said that a moment ago, and then the wheels came off completely. I'm going to have to take at least partial responsibility on that jinx. My bad, Bombers fans.
Can the Bombers cut into this lead, though? Can they need to make it 5-3 right here, I believe, to give themselves a chance.
I agree. You're going to need 2, maybe 3 runs here if you want to have any hope, because you just can't have 5 dropped on your head like that after shutting them out for 4 2/3. You can't have 5 dropped on your head like that and just expect to take it. I'll be warming up here. I'll be back in just a second.
You're good. Are you leaving the booth?
Hey, Lonell, can you do me a favor? On the other side of the dugout right over there, there's a blue cooler. Can you bring that up to me, please? Lonell's the man. He's such a nice guy. We are back. Bombers, Lightning, Game 1, bottom 5. If you just tuned in, oh, I feel so bad for you because you just missed an unbelievable rally by the Lightning. 5 runs in a row, all with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Dalby in here to close it down.
I just saw Zach Hartwell kind of give me that nod of like, I'm going to start something right here, right now.
Well, let's see if he can do it. Pitch from Dalby. Blasted into left field. No doubt about that one. Zach Hartwell gets it going.
Man, I tell you, when the energy is just in alignment, you could just feel it. And I just knew that Zach Hartwell was just going to do something right there. He knew it, and what an amazing swing home run for Zach Hartwell to get these Bombers going.
Ball was blistered, blasted, bloisted, and bleasted. Zach really put some heart into that one.
Put a lot of heart into that well.
Ah, yeah, there you go. So Dalby.
Now down 2-1. Things starting to look a little bit in that Bomber energy here.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm Dalby, what I'm thinking is, right to the left fielder. Nearly back-to-back bombs there, but a liner that just kind of ended up with a humpback to it. And again, if I'm Dalby, I'm thinking, okay, that's 1. I'm glad I didn't give up the 3-run home run last inning.
Right.
I'll give up solo shots. That don't bother me none. That's how I'm approaching this.
Hollis with a disgusting dreaded dribbler, I believe, his last at bat. Let's see if he could get it going, get to Trevor here. I mean, if Hollis could get on right here and Trev does something, all of a sudden you have Mateo up.
Well, it's like we said, you don't need to retake the lead in this inning, but you need to do something. Beautiful pitch there from Dalby, a little screw job. Pitch from Dalby here in the bottom of the 5th. Outside.
Yeah, goes screw job once again.
Yeah, well, I mean, here in the booth, there's no real wind, but out on the field, you can tell. And that one is low. Hollis will walk, and if Dalby walks out, I imagine they'll go to Spur. But that is dangerous business. You don't want to be giving away base runners after putting up 5 and then immediately surrendering 1.
1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 runner on 5-1 Lightning. Trevor Bauer up to bat right now.
Bad miss from Dalby, who looks to have lost the zone. We're at, between TikTok and Twitch, we're at about 200 viewers. My friends on TikTok, you are really missing out on this. We got multiple camera angles. We got a layover with the score. and the inning and the speed and how much time it takes to fire. Pitch. Oh, into deep left field. That ball is out of here. Oh, it knuckled out of here. First it was in center, then it was in dead right, then it was in left center, and it is over the wall. Trevor Bauer. He blasts one, and if you're watching, no, not that Trevor Bauer. We got our own better Trevor Bauer. And as Exhibit A, I cite that. We got ourselves a 2-run game.
TB52 coming up clutch, and you know how bad he wanted up. And now Mateo is up. It is 5-3, and that's what kind of we called it earlier. We'd like to see the Bombers make it 5-3. They do, but they're still chewing at the bit right here, trying to add a little bit more.
Well, now you're only chasing 2, though. It's going to feel a lot more doable here as Mateo swings and misses a 1-2 count. Boy, did Bauer need that one.
Yes.
As a former MVP, you know he's talked about how he's been upset with his offensive production early here in Season 6, and he clobbered that ball.
Let me ask you something, Stein. Are you a former MVP, or are you an MVP until the next MVP? Like, are you still the MVP?
If it's me, for example, I won the Cy Young Season 1. The minute Season 2 started...
Oh, no!
Uh-oh! That is an absolute blast. That's 3 home runs for the Bombers in the first 5 batters of this inning. It is 5-4 Lightning. Mateo mashes one, and it's a 1-run game.
This is incredible stuff. What is happening here in the Bombers dugout, and the Lightning are immediately going to Jay Spur.
Well, I love this move. This has to be all Chad. This is veteran Wiffle leadership here, understanding that although Dalby is a very accomplished, very talented pitcher, right now in this moment, he needs to come out of the game. And a younger team with less of an ability to make that read is going to leave him in there and watch their lead evaporate. I predict that Spurrier will have a much better chance at making these outs than will Dalby, at least in this moment.
An incredible effort here by the Bombers to make this a game, and they have done it. They eclipsed that 3 that we wanted to see. They've made it 4. This all happening with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. As the Lightning are, this game was cruising. It was 0-0. The Lightning blew it up, and the Bombers immediately come right back. 9 runs in 1 inning.
Well, from this moment on, physicality has nothing to do with this game. This is a complete mental bout. One of these teams is going to mentally out-wrestle the other. That's how this game is going to be won. And it starts right now with this matchup between Jay Spur and Alex Fernandez. Swing and a miss at 56.
Jay Spur's really got that good sweeper that comes from the right side, or I guess
The
left side coming in.
Well, this is optimal pitching conditions for a lefty, or it should be. So this should be his moment to shine. He goes inside there.
And Alex saying, I see a reflection off his glasses.
More veteran play. There's some jawing going on back and forth. And now we got an argument going on between the pitcher and the umpire. We love a little bit of drama here in Premier League Wiffle. Pitch. Swung on and popped up. It's bleeding. It's caught just out front of the infield line. Folks, remember, it's got to get past that infield line in order to be a hit. Otherwise, it's got to be, it's got to have taken longer than 5 seconds for a fielder.
Here's the guy that started it all up for the Bombers. A solo shot to begin the inning. Can he back it up? Hit 2 in a row and tie this game up.
Wow, our friend from Ireland says it's 1 a.m., but he's just going to watch through toward the end. Or perhaps she, I don't know. I don't know who's out there on the other end. Whoever you are, we salute you. And if they can watch from Ireland, you can certainly navigate from TikTok over to Twitch. So come on over. You get better angles, a better experience. It's just a better way to wiffle on Twitch. You can thank me later. Pitch from Spur. Fouled back. We got 2 outs here in the 5th inning. If you're just tuning in, it was 0-0 until the top of the 5th. The Lightning came around for 5 runs. And then here in the bottom of the 5th, the Bombers have matched them. This is popped, and it's caught. Spur, a high-caliber fielder. He's not going to miss that. We go to the last inning. It is a 1-run game.
But not after the Bombers and this man, Trevor Bauer, Zach Hartwell, everybody getting in on the action.
Well, if you're Trevor Bauer, that's got to be, I mean, because you came in into a 0-0 game, immediately surrendered a 3-run home run, gave up 2 more runs, and then you get up in a position where you can put your team back in it, and you do just that. Now he's got to lock it down as a pitcher. I'm curious to see if he'll be able to keep the ball low. It looks like pitchers with a sidearm delivery today are succeeding a little bit more, and guys with the over-the-top stuff, not so much. But Trevor Bauer might just be able to force his way right on through. I see an age range here. You got to be 21 to play in this league. We drink hot cocos here, and hot cocos are not for kids. So 21 and older, but other than that, if you're in the Vegas area and you're interested, the way to get into this league is to either see if you can volunteer for one of our lower division PCL teams, or you come out to tryouts in between season. You try out, and if you're good enough, you get drafted. We have a draft. We have free agency coming up this year. It's going to be a really wild time. Oldest player. Who's our oldest player?
I think it's Ogburn. It was.
He's not playing, though. He's just owning.
No, in PLW?
Yeah, in PLW. Oh, no, Ogburn. I thought you said Ogden.
James Ogburn.
He's my teammate.
I
don't know.
56.
56, that could be it.
Leonard, who played for... He came in and played, I think, for the Pharaohs or something. Yeah. He's 58.
There you go.
But he's not on a PLW roster. He was just an emergency.
He can be used as an emergency sub. He's in the PCL. So, yeah, mid-50s, it would seem, is the oldest we've got. And then, of course, we have a few 21-year-olds who just got old enough to join the league. Bauer missing low there to Bruce. And, again, if I'm a pitcher, I'm coming inside on Bruce. I'm going to make him use that elbow. Swung on and lifted into left field. I don't think this park is going to contain it. See ya. Bruce Huson. Huson, we have a problem. The problem being that the ball is over the wall. It's 6-4 Lightning.
And the Lightning respond immediately.
If you subscribe, you get ad-free content. Yes, indeed. At least one person has moved to play in Vegas, and I don't blame them. A couple of people have moved, and I myself don't live in Vegas. I actually live in Utah. I drive out here to play and to volunteer.
Here's Trout, who I believe hit that 3-run shot.
Yep, he's the one who opened it up for the Lightning. So with nobody out here in the 6th, swing and a miss, and he got a bit hungry on that one. I think as a rookie, he was maybe feeling himself a little bit.
Yeah, he's not a rookie, though. He played for the Warbirds last year.
Oh, okay, that explains why I had never seen him, because the Warbirds, quite frankly, were a bit of a mess last year, and they had a bunch of guys bumping up and down for them, so my apologies.
Right now, Stein, if you just get the ball in the air, it's going to carry another 30 or 40 feet.
Yeah, but that can mess with your head, and it can result in you rolling over the ball, so I would say don't change much. Just, take your normal approach and, meet the ball with the bat. Catch the ball with the bat, as Barry Bonds would say, as this one's grounded. Fernandez, nice hands, flips it to his brother, fires, but it was a little quick. So if you're confused by what you just saw right there, you can turn a double play in this league. The way to do it is there's a stationary second base, and the fielder will field it and flip to that base. And then what you have to do from there is throw it home and either hit the zone or the backstop without the ball bouncing. As this one's hit into right center, but nothing's going to get out that way. It's fielded by Fernandez, and that's the end of the inning. 1 home run off the bat of Bruce the Juice Huson.
Here we go, Stein. We have a game.
Indeed we do.
6-4 Lightning. And the way the Bombers came out last inning, I wouldn't expect them to go away quietly at this bottom of the 6th.
No, that was very encouraging, but Spurrier came out last game, and he really shut the door. Look at these ridiculous warm-up pitches. What is he doing? Yeah, take a look at that temperature gauge. It's warm. Okay, we're sitting at 90, but let me tell you, folks, that desert sun, it's going to feel a little bit hotter than 90. It's going to beat down on you. Wear your sunscreen. Sit. Rest your legs, right? These are the things you need to do to keep yourself healthy and happy here in the desert. You know what I'd love to see, Trench?
What?
I complained about this at the beginning of the game. We're at 86 viewers. I'd love to see us get up to 100.
Yeah.
We got 86 on Twitch and 87 on TikTok. Can 14 people from TikTok come join us on Twitch? You get better camera angles. You get a full replay system. You get the layover so you know what inning it is and what the score is and how fast the ball was thrown and how much time has elapsed when a fielder is making a play. You're really missing out. If you're watching this on TikTok and you're like, wiffle ball, that's kind of cool. Give us a follow on Twitch. Give us a watch on Twitch. That's where you need to be watching.
Yeah, plus we have a roaming camera. So that's like such a huge deal.
Multiple camera angles, much better sound and video quality. The Bombers will try and come back here against the Lightning. Bombers 9-8 heading into this season. You'll remember that both the Bombers and the Snappers are one game short because it started snowing in the middle of their game last month. So they have a makeup game that needs to be played at some point. Every other team after this week will have played 21 games. And we'll talk about maybe some updated standings at the end of the series.
Big pitch right here, full count against Maximus.
First batter of the inning, too. Swung on and lifted into center field, but it's going to hang up. Dalby tracks it down, and he drops it. Oh, Randy Dalby, in what is maybe the first error of his career, Randy Dalby dropped a ball that was headed for the container, but got brought back in, and it just kept coming in and in and in, and as a result, Maximus finds himself on first base. The tying run in Hollis Hale. Swing and a miss. Oh, boy. Hollis Hale was going for one over Hollis Hill right there, if you ask me.
Yeah, he was coming out of his shoes on that one, but goes down to the count 0-2. Hollis, one of those players that goes way up into the box.
Swing and a miss, and Hollis ice cold in this first game. He'll need to turn it around. That'll bring up Bauer again as the tying run. There's one out and one on in this two-run game.
Bauer in a prime position to give his team tie ball game here.
I'm pretty sure Randy's dad just came in the chat. Jim Dalby just came in the chat and said that's definitely not Randy's first error. I'm pretty sure that's Jim. How you doing, Jim? Good to see you.
His first error in a big-time spot in the sixth inning, I'll tell you.
Let me tell you something. If there's somebody that you were like, hey, I need someone to chase down a fly ball, there's like three guys who immediately come to mind, and Randy Dalby's two of them, okay? So that is a rare error from Randy. Oh, that's going to tink the inside pipetage, and that is a strike.
Man, the way that came across the plate, what a pitch by Spur.
Yeah, he has the advantage of being a lefty with the wind at his back shoulder. Pitch. Swung and laced up the middle. That is going to be a single. Dalby fields. He throws it over to third, and Bruce cannot handle it. In this league, here's an important new rule from this season. With a ball hit into the outfield, if you are the outfielder, if there's a runner on first, you can throw it to third base in an attempt to hold the runner at second. If you don't make it within 5 seconds, the runner gets over to third. That's exactly what happened here. Swing and a miss from Mateo. Boy,
he's trying to end the game.
He was trying to end the game with that one. Now let's see if he can shorten up and get his team a run, get his brother an at-bat. Last thing you want to do here is hit a ground ball. Swung on. It's a grounder. It is fielded, flipped, catches, fires. Is out. Oh, they turned the double play. And the Bombers are chatting about it. That was an amazing end of the game. First and third. One man out, down by 2, and a fantastic double play. I love the ballsiness to go for that throw, try to end the game right there. If one run scores, so be it. What a win for the Lightning.
And we'll be right back for game number 2 in just a moment.
And that's a deep drive. Brandon Gregg! Oh! Taylor Briner! Brandon Gregg, what a catch and play!
There's 9 games total.
Damn. Okay.
And we've got a home run for the Bombers.
Oh, wow. Murph grabs that like a boss.
Where's the hole? I thought I had that the whole way.
Oh! Sansone just smoked it off Buck Burner's mouth.
Looking really good as Gio unloads on that. And we were saying that the winds are kind of, slightly going out there.
That was a ugly looking swing. The bat must have broke there from Murphy. Looks like he's gonna go get a new one. Let's take another look at this.
Oh, man, that might be the furthest PLW home run at this field. Holy cow.
And then Hicks flew out.
Oh, that's a deep fly ball. That might go over. Oh! It's a fan, I think.
Really found his stroke here tonight, and he just smoked that ball. That
Left side. Oh, GK with another amazing play. Wow.
Day gets under that one. That's going to be a tricky play, but Eder
What a
lays
catch.
out with a big play.
Hit this pitch, but
and that's ripped by Corral. Manny Patricus, one-handed diving catch, a highlight play.
Get the save, and we're good to go.
J-Dub, mammoth shot to the container.
Keep it in.
Do not lay one in. Jake Purdy, deep drive, right field. Purdy with the bomb to tie it up. Deep drive, Howland, bat flip, gone! Home run, Tyler Howland, 7-6, Lightning, and they strike again on Tom Gannon.
Surfboard out there, waxing it up. She's ready to go, and that goes off J-Dubs.
Ripped by Dolby here! Home run to tie it up! The Lightning have tied it up! And Randy Dolby wins the matchup between him and Gannon. Oh
Tie
my
game.
goodness, tie ball game!
Oh, he hit it off Tanner.
Oh my God! TK Rabbit! He did it! Walk-off home run!
Welcome back, Premier League Wiffle Nation. It's your boy Stein, joined by Trenchy. We just got a treat of a game in Game 1 of this series between the Bombers and the Lightning.
Yeah, I mean, nothing was really happening. It was just good pitching, lots of outs until that fifth inning. I think 9 runs were scored right there. And then the Bombers came creeping back first and third right there, but ended on a double play. What a deflating loss for the Bombers right there.
Well, I can't think of too many guys who I'd rather have at the plate with 2 on and 1 out in a 2-run game besides Mateo Fernandez, who had delivered in earlier parts of this game, and he smoked that ball, but Purdy got, I think, a shin on it. Just turned the double play. Beautiful turn.
Let's talk about what's coming up next. Game number 2. It looks like Alex Fernandez is going to take the mound for the Bombers. I suspect you're probably going to see either Spur or Dalby starting game number 2.
If I was the Lightning, I'd be going with Spur. He just went out there and got done what needed to be done. And he looks to be in a bit of a rhythm. But, I think it might be Fernandez versus Spur. We'll get the report in just a moment here. The Bombers are hobbling out to the field after a really rough Game 1 loss in a game where it felt like they might have a comeback walk-off win.
Yeah, I that was kind of the energy that I was feeling that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But we're going to go on to game number 2. Who do you think's got the edge in game number 2 here?
Right out of the gate, I want to say Lightning. However, I think that was a very evenly matched game, and I think that the Bombers were slow and sluggish and kind of low energy early on, and they really hyped up a little bit more toward the end. Despite the loss, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bombers take game 2.
Yeah, you also have to remember, though, on the Lightning side, Spurrier is going to be replacing probably Riley in that lineup, so there was at least 3 at-bats that would see Jay Spur rather than Riley, and also him on the mound is a huge, huge upgrade. I like the Lightning in game number 2, but remember, Alex Fernandez, a veteran in this league. He's seen these guys hundreds of times on the mound. Let's see if he could use his knowledge of the game and the understanding of these players to his advantage.
I think he might just do that, but I also think it's possible that on a day like this, with the wind being the way it is, couple of pitches up in the zone, and all of a sudden it's 4-0 Lightning.
Well, I'm going to get back on the camera. What, J-Dub? Yeah, we're ready.
Of course we're ready. We're always ready. Lead umpire, Justin Wilson, very confused, seems to think that... What? Yeah, you're Justin now.
Is that his name?
I don't even fucking know.
I just call him
Sorry for
J-Dub.
cussing. Yeah, his name's...
Oh,
it's called...
J-Dub.
It's called projection.
Listen,
It's
Stein,
called
you never
projection.
get nervous for a man that wears Crocs. And those Crocs are hurting, let me tell you. They lost out their cushion many, many walks ago.
Before we get started, folks, keep in mind, if you are one of the 105 folks we have watching on TikTok right now,
Oh, no.
I'm telling you, you need to
This
get on
creepo.
Twitch. We're going to have multiple camera angles. We got the sky cam going on right now. We got instant replays. We got the layovers. We have high quality audio, video that you can hear and see how mad the players on the Bombers are because of my wonderful projection. It's almost like I'm a professional communicator, Trench.
Cody Runnels down there came up from the dungeon. Remember, below us is a whole setup
Jonathan
of...
Wilson. John. His name is John.
Oh, it's not Justin?
His name is J-Dub.
Look at the setup Runnels is running.
Look at this. We got the master computer. TikTok, you're not getting to see it right now. But it looks like C-Run is hacking into the mainframe.
You know what he said? He came up to us and he's like, listen, I was falling asleep with Chad up there, but now I'm wide awake. Look at that. Look at
That's
that.
because I
Let's
promised
go.
the most energetic, dynamic, explosive commentary that this league has ever seen, and I am seated to deliver upon that one, regardless of what head umpire Jonathan Wilson, formerly Justin Wilson. Why does Justin feel so natural?
I don't know. I just call him J-Dub.
Yeah, just call him J-Dub. His name's Justin now. I'm making that happen. Chat. What I want you to do, because J-Dub is constantly in the chat.
Yes.
When he's not umping or playing, he's in the chat. Chat, we're calling him Justin from now on. It's happening. Okay? I'll lead the charge because I'm always in the chat. I will lead the charge. You follow me. But for now, we got some commentary going. Game 2 underway between the Bombers and the Lightning. The Thunder. What's wrong with me right now?
Who are you right now?
What is wrong with me? I can't get the team
Jeez.
names right. I can't get the umpire names right. Goodness gracious. Oh, boy. Oh, because Justin Spurrier is on the mound. You know what? That's got to be it. Justin Spurrier's on the mound. Jonathan Wilson is the umpire, and I'm smushing them together. They look so much alike, you see. They've both got beards, and that's about it. Mateo Fernandez starting. We mistakenly thought it was Alex. And we got Justin Timberlake bumping through the speakers. Thank you for the follow out here in TikTok land. But TikTok, you're really missing the greater experience of being on Twitch and getting the multiple camera angles and the full commentary and the replays as this ball is yanked foul. Spurrier leading the game off. Did I miss the bet window? No, the bet should be opening right now. I mean, that was literally the first or second pitch of the game. So once a run scores, we close the bet window. And we got it up right there. 34K on the Lightning, 32K on the Bombers. We got a real even split right now. Swung on and chopped foul at what was certainly a ball, but, when you got 2 strikes, you got to protect. Bets should still be open. Remember, you can bet with fake cookies. As that ball is lifted into left, Lionel Simmons there, and he makes the play. Some good communication there from the Bombers, and there's one away. Mateo thus far has been the most effective pitcher for this team. But he did walk out earlier in game 1. Bauer came in, and, that's when the scoring started. First the Lightning, then the Bombers, and score 6-4. Bruce the Juice in the 2-hole. Glad to see the chat this active. It makes my job much easier. Pitch is lifted to Lionel once again, and he squeezes it for out number 2. I see a question in the chat. Are they not allowed to throw really hard? That is correct. This is a medium pitch league, which means that there's a speed limit of 55. Now, of course, Trench, there are a couple wrinkles in there. Do you want to explain that to our lovely viewers?
Yeah, I mean, you could throw as fast as you want, but if a batter takes and doesn't swing, it's gonna be a ball, even if it hits the pan. If it hits the pan, of course. But if you swing at something that's 56, 58, it's gonna be a strike.
Fouled back by Dalby. 2 quick outs here for Mateo Fernandez. And, me personally as a pitcher, one thing I love to do is I love to play around with speeds, throw hard, see if I can get a guy to bite on a fast pitch. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a nice little wrinkle to this league that I appreciate. Fernandez, ground ball. Simmons, off his hands, clanks it, but he picks it up, throws it, And a 1-2-3 inning for Mateo Fernandez. And that's got to feel real good after that soft loss.
Yeah, I mean, Lonell Simmons completes the hat trick right there. All 3 outs for the Bombers right there, as we are going to see.
You know,
it looks like Jay Spur going to be on the mound.
Yeah, that would be the smart move for me. Just back to Lonell.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's been playing with the Bombers for multiple seasons now.
Yeah.
He rarely gets at bats. He's in the field sometimes, but there's nobody on the field with a more positive attitude than Lonell Simmons. He's just happy to be here, having a good time.
Yeah, and that's experience, age. He's one of those guys that reads self-help books, works on himself, his mental game, and he's just he's a good dugout guy, and obviously he's a great defender, and when he does come up to bat, I've seen him do some things in some critical situations.
Sure, with those little things right there that you just described are a huge part of team culture and the winning experience. You know, it's very hard to win with guys who are negative and who drag you down. And Lonell is the exact opposite of that. He is a high-quality personality. 55 and under to be a strike unless the batter swings at it. You are correct. And as Alec Holligan did, you can actually ask for a link to the rule book. You will get an auto chat sending you the rule book. You know where you can't do that, Trench?
I have a pretty good idea, and I think you're going to tell us.
You can't do it on TikTok. So if you're watching on TikTok, I implore you to come join us here on Twitch. We got that viewer count up and up, trending closer to 100. You'll love to see it. We are at the beginning of Game 2 here, bottom of the first.
Stein, what do you think the final outcome of this game will be?
Well, we were talking about this before the game. I think, like I said, I kind of like the Bombers.
Give me totals, though.
I'm thinking that the Bombers could win this one 5-3 or 4-2, something like that. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think there's going to be the most runs scored, but I believe in the Bombers. They're a good team this year, and I think that they're going to take at least one from this Lightning club. The pitch.
I thought I heard a tip right there.
And it looks like there was indeed a tip. And not only was there a foul tip, it was a foul tip that didn't hit into the strike zone, which is important because you only get one of those once you have 2 strikes. The second time, you are out. Flicked foul. Hartwell artfully dodging out of the way.
Waited on that one at a T-bow. Good tip. See if he could gather himself right here. See if the Bombers could get on top of these Lightning right away.
Lifted into center. Dalby closing in, and he can't make the play.
Wow.
Really struggling is Dalby. Now, me personally, on a ball like that, I'm going to give Bauer a hit on that one. I think the first one was an error. I think that one might be a hit. Just because Dalby had to come such a long way and extend, and the wind, I would give him a hit.
Yeah, and I understand Dalby's father is watching. And do you think he's too old to adopt out?
Oh, boy, I don't know. I mean, he's got 2 brothers, and so Jim might just focus his attention a little bit more on one of them for the moment. See if Dalby reacts to that. Anyway, 1 on, and nobody out as this one's a high pop-up Spurrier. Ever the sure-handed fielder makes the play. And Mateo Fernandez has had a home run in this series. But other than that, he's just a little bit off. He's going to need to turn it around if the Bombers want to see a series victory or even a victory. Little ground ball, Huson. Flip to second, 1, on to first. Easy double play there. And what felt like might have been an opportunity for the Bombers to make the Lightning pay turned into 3 really quick outs.
It's really hard to dog Dalby at all, as he's such an exceptional player.
Oh, his dad's doing it pretty good in the chat right now. We got Randy Butterfingers Dalby hitting him with the Butterfingers.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I mean, that's twice in the last 20 minutes, and that's not a good trend that you want to be on right now. As it starts to get in your head just a little bit. But I think what's happening with Dalby out there is he's playing it like a regular fly ball, but he's not forecasting the wind.
Right, I agree, and which is rare because Randy's such a good fielder. I'm also hearing from our central control room that that's actually his brother, probably Jonathan, who also plays wiffle ball, although mostly in California and sometimes on the East Coast. Not his dad. Damn shame. Trade Randy for Jonathan. He would never make that error. So this is Jonathan pretending to be Jim. Jonathan.
Is he like? Is this Wiffle fishing us or whatever?
Yeah,
it's called?
we're getting Wiffle fished. Anyway, Mateo back out there. Swung on and yanked toward Alex. Easy play, can of corn. And there's quickly one away on one pitch. Now, let me tell you something. In the previous series, there were so many outs like that. I was on the hitting side of outs like that. I was on the pitching side of outs like that. I was on the fielding side of outs like that. Just a ton of balls hanging up that might normally be like sharp little line drive singles, and other balls that might normally be a flyout are now leaving the ballpark. So give and take. Ground ball through the hands of Lonell Simmons.
Very odd defensive effort from Lonell right there. I believe he kind of shortened up thinking that Max and him were going to collide.
Yeah.
And kind of wasn't able to fully lay out right there.
That's the old Olay. And now this one is grounded foul.
Way inside on that pitch. Purdy takes a hack.
Fernandez trying to get out of this little bit of a pickle, misses up and in. And you'll notice that it was Tim Riley who got on base. He did not take himself out of the lineup, and so far it's paid off.
Balls in play.
Oh, Dragon Lady in the chat. A little hello world from the Dragon Lady.
Yeah, I gotta love the Dragon Lady. Anytime she is around, it just instantly boosts the morale of the Bombers.
The Dragon Lady is the all-time sub-gifter leader, and it's not even close. I'm talking about literal hundreds, maybe up in the thousands of subs gifted by the Dragon Lady, especially when her hubby plays. The pitch is blasted. Oh, my goodness. Foul, but oh, my gosh. Was that ball crushed?
You know, one time I was hanging out with the Dragon Lady outside of the field, just, to the side. Mm-hmm. And she's like, hey, do you need some water, Trench? And I was like, yeah. And I think she tried to give me a wink or something like that. But it was like she had a canteen, and it was full of that fermentus cactus juice or whatever. Yeah. And it took me for a spin.
Ayahuasca. So the Lightning, or rather the Bombers get out of that one relatively quickly. And you can see out in the outfield, Purdy is fielding Dalby fly balls right now to try and work on tracking it. Jonathan Wilson, a.k.a. Justin Wilson. Oh, boy. And Dragon Lady confirming that the flask is still on her person.
Yeah, she gave me like that little nod of like, be ready. And I thought it was just H2O, but it was a little something else there.
Apparently, there was a Justin Wilson who pitched relief innings for the Pirates like 5 years ago. So there is a Justin Wilson out there. Welcome, one and all. We are creeping up to that 100 viewer mark, which is right where I like to be. We are now the bulk of our viewers on Twitch as opposed to TikTok. Now, I love my TikTok viewers. I really do.
Oh, I know you do.
I love them so much. I just feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting the experience that they deserve as lovers of wiffle ball. Pitch. Hit foul. So if you're on TikTok, I really gotta remind you, you're missing out. You're not getting the replays. You're not getting the multiple camera angles. You're not getting the layover that tell you what inning it is and what the situation is. So we love you, TikTok. We really do, and we want what's best for you. So come on over to Twitch, Premier League Wiffle. Very easy to find. If you found us there, you can find us here. And to our TikTok fans, keep it up. We love seeing y'all in the chat. GK Rabbit.
See you in the
chat. The stopwatch phone needs to be turned sideways. So, don't know what that means. Not my job. Anyway, here's the pitch.
Notices everything.
Well, he's the master engineer.
Yeah.
He's the chief engineer and the motor of this league. Oh, apparently. Oh, the stopwatch numbers are tiny because I see what's happening. That's a problem for someone else. Pitch from Spurrier is well outside. Max Fernandez at the dish here to lead off the second inning. In a 0-0 game, a really sparkler of a game, game one, Fernandez right back to spur, and there's the first out.
You know, kind of reminiscent of game number one. Nothing happening for these ball clubs early in the game, and then the fireworks kind of came alive later.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if game two follows a similar pace as Hollis, big swing and a miss there. To those watching, sometimes you're going to see a number that looks higher than you should think. For example, the radar gun read 74 there. What you're getting there is the swing of the bat. So Hollis swung that at 74 miles an hour, an impressive swing. Upstairs, 1 and 2. That one way inside. And so here's Spurrier with a couple outs here in the second. And, you know, you don't want to walk a guy. This is the worst time to walk a guy. So look, I'm expecting him to go to Hollis here. He does, and it's fouled off. Good spoil there by Hollis Hale, former home run leader. The pitch is lifted. I don't think that's got the distance. And Dalby again struggling out there. Oh, my goodness. And when you're struggling, Trench, the ball just finds you, doesn't it?
I don't even know what to say about what's happening to Randy out there.
Oh, my goodness. I've never seen Randy like this. Hasn't done much offensively either.
Do you think that maybe some things are happening in the household with the brothers? There's competition. They're watching. It puts a little more pressure on them.
I don't know, maybe. But that one's softly grounded right to Purdy. Flip to second. That'll do it. It's still 0-0 after 2. Randy Dalby out to a bit of a rough start here in his series for the Lightning. But the beautiful part of playing a series like this is he's got another 8 innings to get right, and I expect him to do just that.
You know what's so crazy, Stein? We got this beautiful home, this beautiful field, you know, all this stuff. We're on the outskirts of Vegas right there. But if you look, we have a marker there. And it looks like we need to start a GoFundMe page to get... That's a back massager, Stein.
Oh, is that a back massager you're
This
shooting
league
there?
is really taking a tumble for the worse, if you ask me.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Where is the pylon?
I don't know, like, if we need to do a PLW GoFundMe or what's going on, but I don't know what to say about
Chat, can we get hashtag PylonGate trending? I think the world needs to know about this.
I mean, first, Justin Wilson's Crocs right next to that back massager. That is just not a good look.
Look how he's standing in those Crocs. What is wrong with him?
Those Crocs have seen better days, let me tell you.
Well, why is he standing on the heels? I mean, it looks like he's got elf feet. They're sticking out, they're pointing up. I don't know what's going on. Strange, odd times here at No Name Field. Pitch from Mateo.
Here's
Inside.
Bruce had a very, very good game number 1. Do you think somebody who wears Crocs, like, is at a disadvantage in life?
Look, I love my Crocs. I just don't wear them to the field.
Yeah, like, I've never seen them. That's what I'm saying. Do you think, like, there's some challenges he's facing maybe upstairs that he comes out here and wears those?
I think he's just suffering from a clear case of BBM, which is, of course, broke boy mentality. Pitch is low and outside. Oh. Pitch is over to Lonell. Oh, that's not Lonell. Sorry about that. A nice play from Yep. That's not Yepes either. That's their new
that's
rookie.
Raul,
Yeah, that's Raul. That's their new rookie, Raul. But you're throwing me off with these jersey names, and I'm already terrible with names. I'm good with play-by-play, not with names. The pitch.
Randy quiet so far offensively, and obviously we've seen the mistakes defensively. Can he make it up?
Well, this would be a great time for it. Takes it low. And when you're a guy like Dalby, eventually you're going to start laying into the ball. I would say, you wait for your pitch, and you take a ball like that. You take a ball like that. You got to be okay with walks when you're not doing your best work, and that can be hard to accept sometimes. Right down the middle at 46, and so I think if Randy's locked in, he's granting himself the green light there, and he's going to punish that ball. But when it rains, it pours. Full count pitch coming from Mateo, and that'll be outside for ball 4. And Randy will see first base for the first time today. So we got 1-on-1 out here for the Lightning here in the top of the 3rd. Jaden Trout pops that one up. Nice communication by Max Fernandez. I heard it up here. He called for that ball. Everyone backed off, and it ended up being a can of corn. That is the key to winning games, good communication and good defense.
We need a stool, like a tall stool, for the camera operator.
Oh, yeah.
This is a backbreaker.
Yeah, that's rough. We should get, I'm sure you could go to thrift shop and get a nice tall stool for under $15.
Like a really tall one.
The pitch is way up and in. Not even close. So Riley, who opted to keep himself in the lineup, he's been on base once already this game. And he takes that one low. Welcome to those just joining us on Twitch and or TikTok. This is Premier League Wiffle, a 55-mile-an-hour medium pitch wiffle ball league here in Sin City, Las Vegas. If you're on TikTok, I strongly recommend that you come join us on Twitch, where we have the multiple camera angles, the commentary, the deep fly balls, the fair ball off the pole, Tim Riley. I think that ball was higher than it was far. Oh, boy, did it hang up there forever. Take a look at this replay. Oh, it's just up.
I couldn't even find it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was up and up and up, and it just kissed the side pole. When I say it kissed the side pole, I mean it ricocheted off of it to the left. Just barely fair for Tim Riley. He put a decent charge into that one. I think on most days it's probably caught, but you got to work within your conditions, and Tim Riley does an excellent job there, showing why he deserves to be in this lineup.
It immediately went above my line of sight right there.
Swung on, fouled off. Welcome to the chat. We love to see you here. We love our PLW players. We love our PCL players, which is not, it's not the minor league. It's a challengers league. It's a different league. And every year the top 2 teams from that league play in what's known as the challengers tournament, where they play against the worst 2 teams in PLW. The winners move on. The losers are in the PCL. So if you were a PLW team and you lose in that challengers tournament, you are down in the PCL. Now, I don't think either of these 2 teams are going into the PCL anytime soon. So enough about that. Here's the ball outside to Purdy. Here's Mateo. Swung on and grounded. Foul. So the Lightning lead 2-0 here in the 3rd. They strike first. A home run by Tim Riley as this one's popped. Foul. Oh, and caught. Nice play there by Purdy, who catches his own foul ball. We should have a new rule where if you do that, if you catch your own foul ball, the at-bat starts over. Here's Mateo dealing and a foul ball. Mateo's throwing strikes. He's putting the ball in good stuff, in good spots. He doesn't have a finishing pitch, though, and that's, I think, why we're seeing so many foul balls. And that's going to extend the at-bat and allow for a base hit from Jake Purdy, who, again, has really emerged as an excellent hitter in this Lightning lineup. This lightning up, if you will. If you're just joining in for this second series of the day, we got Bombers Lightning. That ball's yanked foul. In the first series, we saw the Ones play the Snappers, and my ONES were able to take that series 2-1 off some timely hitting and some high-quality pitching from everyone on the team in these very windy conditions. Although I will say it looks like the wind is calming down just a little bit. Nowhere near where it was last series, and not even where it was game 1, as that one is blasted foul. Jay Spur, that's the second time he's hit a ball super duper foul like that. He's got his bat's a bit sped up right now. That one's going to miss outside. And the Lightning continue to threaten here as this one is fouled off yet again. Spur fouling a lot of balls off. And here we go. Oh, it's a floater, misses up and out, and Spur quickly working his way back into this count. It's now a full count. Base hit ball 4 here would be huge. And it's ball 4 indeed. Mateo is done. In comes Max. Now, Max, when this series started and the wind was a lot stronger than it was, I really liked that little dipsy-do riser.
Yeah.
Because it stays low and it can look perplexing. With the wind blowing out gently to left field, me personally, I'm cheating on a low riser here and I'm trying to scoop it out. You ever see Mike Trout hit a home run to left field? He just scoops it out. And that's what I'm thinking if I'm the Lightning lineup here. The Bombers looking very on edge right now. Nowhere near as confident as they were this time last game, but it's only a 2-0 game. Yeah, runners on first and second, and I think there's only 1 out. There might be 2 outs. But a big spot for the Bombers. The fate of the series on the line here. They really need to make something happen, and if they can't, they might be staring down the barrel of a Lightning sweep. So here's Max against Bruce the Juice Huson. First pitch, an absolutely perfect tink ball, 54. Not going to do anything with that. Sorry, Bruce. This one misses low. 1-2. Next pitch is flicked outward, and Hollis Hale lays out full extension. Amazing play from Hollis Hale to save a run, and the Bombers' hopes for the series remain intact. It's just 2-0 heading into the bottom of the third.
What about that camera action, though, Stein?
Let's take a look at this replay. How'd you do, buddy?
I got it in there.
Oh, absolutely dead center. I mean, Christopher Nolan couldn't have asked for a better action shot. Absolutely fantastic. You see Hollis Hale laying out there, taking his time, lining the ball up, and he's an athlete, man. If you get next to him, he's an athlete. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing with his body. So, a lot of pressure was placed on Maximus, and he figured it out. He made those outs, and now his Bombers will be hitting down 2, but with a bit of a momentum swing after the tremendous defensive play.
Are you in your headset constantly hearing that?
Yeah.
Click, 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 click?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm zoning out of it.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you were hearing it too.
Yeah, as long as the viewer isn't, it is what it is. We're trending right around toward that 100 viewer mark on Twitch. On TikTok, look, man, we got a few dozen viewers on TikTok. I've seen better. But quite frankly, I love my TikTok audience. I would just so much rather see y'all here with us on Twitch, where we have the replays and the camera angles and the audio and the video and the layovers and all that good stuff.
It's like you found the fountain of youth and they don't believe you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the highest quality Wiffle content that anyone could ask for. Not that our TikTok stream is bad. It's just, you're just not able to see the full movement. You don't see the replays. You don't see the sky cam. That you're just missing so many things.
Like that play that Hollis just made. You might have caught a
saw
portion
his
of that
feet as he was flying through the air.
You would have saw the whole catch close up, the instant replay of it, and then, of course, I could just scan the whole place and just make it a really good experience for the viewers.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that the audio quality is better. We got the replays. There's just 1,000,005 reasons to shift from TikTok to Twitch. First ball grounded, Spurrier boots it, and then flicks it. He nearly missed that throw.
Yeah, you got to be
with
careful
that little
with
flick.
that.
Look, I understand wanting to have fun, but there's a line. I'm a pro fun guy, not a no fun guy. But if my pitcher ever missed a throw like that, I would lose my mind. GK, I see your suggestion. It's fine. We've been fluctuating. Sometimes there's 30 in there, and sometimes there's 90. It is what it is. Fouled off. And Alex Fernandez looking to get his series going here with a nice little hitsky poo.
I want to go back to our pylon gate.
Oh,
real
pylon
quick.
gate. I'll return to pylon gate.
How does something like that go missing?
Well, I don't think it's missing. I actually think I can see it, but I think what's happening is the wind kept knocking it down.
Okay.
And so they wanted to put something better. But for me, it's just disrespect.
I feel that way too.
The pylon, which should be used as such, is not being used, and instead we're seeing a back roller being used. What is this? Little flick job foul. A lot of foul balls here in this at bat
I
from
want
Alex
GK
Fernandez.
to see it. Oh, he might get furious.
No, we don't want to see GK go into rage mode. He was already suspended for a game, and he worked that off in the salt mines here at PLW Field. Another foul ball from Alex Fernandez, who's putting together a great at-bat. And when you put together a good at-bat like this, you really want to see something manifest from it. Let's see if Alex can do that. Way outside, and I believe that gets us to a full count. GK seems to like the new pylon, which is shocking to me. Maybe I read that text wrong. That is floated, and an unnecessary jump from Jayden Trout there, as I think he thought that ball was going over his head, but because of the odd wind, it ended up being a can of corn.
Do you think he likes it because if he gets a base hit or a walk, he could go over there and roll his back out?
I mean, that's what I would do, so yeah.
Maybe that's something that we just incorporate. You know, if you get to first base, that's like a present.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
And maybe at third base, you get like a hot cocoa.
Oh, now you're talking. Now you're thinking. Spurrier with 2 outs here in the third. Zach Hartwell up, and that ball's outside.
And maybe if you like cross home plate, maybe one of the PLW hotties give you a hug.
Sure, why not? Hartwell swings and misses through strike 2 as J-Dub issues a warning for delay of game. The pitch. It's a little floater, a dribbler. It's foul. So Fernandez, Hartwell, all of them really, they're fouling a lot of balls off from Spurrier. They can't seem to square anything up right now in this moment. It's still early, but it's getting late early. You know what I mean? So Bombers do need to put something together at some point. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, Spurrier was walking off the mound directly towards the dugout, knowing that pitch was going to get him, as that's going to complete the bottom of the third, right? Are we going to top 4?
We are going to the top of the 4th. It's 2-0 Lightning. We got a bunch of viewers here at Twitch. We got some viewers over here on TikTok. You're really missing out. You got to come and get the camera angles and the commentary and the layovers and the chat that we offer on Twitch. Or you can watch on TikTok. It is what it is. I mean, we don't hate it, right? But we appreciate the shares. We appreciate the follows. We will be on TikTok, hopefully posting some more curated content, some clips and such. We're gonna do some creative things there. But right now, our primary action is on Twitch, and of course, you can always watch our replays both on Twitch and on YouTube. And those are just the full stream, right? And so if you like watching Wiffle Ball, we got hours and hours and hours of content for you each week.
Yeah, and were you saying it's over on YouTube as well?
Yeah, we got it on YouTube. We archive our games. It's not something we've always done, but we are doing it this season.
I like that. Well,
I love it.
Go dig into the archives of PLW.
Yeah, watch some film. I see guys in the chat. Oh, this looks easy. Oh, I could do it. Okay, go watch yourself some film and then come audition, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying that time and time again, and a lot of those people that talk a good game, they are just either not going to come out here or they're just not going to develop.
Right, you are. Max Fernandez back on the mound. Randy Dalby at the plate. Looks like we've got a visitor on the field. Tim Riley's child, whose name I forget, but I remember it's a really cool name.
Bodai.
Bodai? Oh, my goodness gracious, Grandma! Randy Dalby just hit a ball that would have broken through any wind. And like we said, Trench, it's only a matter of time before Randy Dalby gets going. That ball was absolutely demolished.
Yeah. I'd like to see a replay of what pitch that was.
I wouldn't.
Because he usually likes stuff really high in the zone. And he could wrap around it. But now 3-0 Lightning.
Well, the solo homers won't kill you, Trench. It's when you start giving up all the hits and the walks and such, that's when you're really in trouble. Up and in from Max.
No, you're good. Just as long as GK doesn't know, that's all that matters.
Well, now he knows.
One time, I think it was season 5, maybe the end of season 4, I was taking some swigs of a drink.
Oh, and you can hear the gulping.
And when I was driving home, he was at my doorstep. He's like, "What are you doing, man?"
With a bat.
He's like, "What are you doing? You know you can't drink on camera."
Well, you got to stay hydrated. Otherwise,
but
you're going to lose your voice.
You got to take off your headset and do what you need to
well,
do.
What we need is a cough button.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to rig that up, so I'm not going to sit here and demand things that I don't know how to build. But it would sure be great. Anyway, we got Max in this one, delivering an absolute missile of a riser, low and inside, swing and a miss. Take a look at this replay. Max so low with it, coming truly submarine, and that spot just doesn't get a whole lot better than that. So 1 on, 1 out. And that ball's fouled off.
Yeah, Purdy could have danced with that one, and he knows it, but now he's down in the count 0-2.
Welcome, one and all. Be you on TikTok or Twitch. This is Premier League Wiffle, and I am James Shoelacestein, joined by Trench Pacone, here to commentate this matchup between the Bombers and the Lightning. It is currently the top of the 4th in Game 2. The Lightning won Game 1 in dramatic fashion, 5-3, a game-ending double play. They now have an early lead here in Game 4, off of a couple of home runs, one by Tim Riley off the foul pole, the other by Randy Dalby just this inning.
I want to talk a little bit about the series that are going to be playing tomorrow on Sunday.
Oh,
we
yeah.
We got a Cajuns and Owls squad. You were an Owl for a very long time, as that's a flare out there, too.
Oh, what a play! Oh, my goodness, what a play! What heads-up action there from former MVP Trevor Bauer off the hands of Zach Hartwell. It clinked, but Trevor Bauer, who did not give up on the play, bobbled and caught it. That is an out, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, we do have the Night Owls in the cage up and the Cajuns, as that one's laced. Mateo laying out and securing the ball. So some hard hit balls there, but the Bombers wriggle out of it with just 1 run given up. We will enter the bottom of the 4th with the Lightning leading 3-0.
Yeah, let's talk about those Cajuns and Owls. It looks like the Cajuns are kind of streaking just a little bit. The Owls are in a little bit of a no man's land once again. I feel like they don't have an identity. What do you see forecast going into that series tomorrow?
Well, I was an Owl for 4 years, and the guys over there are A-plus guys. They've done a lot of remodeling of the team, so they're young. They understand it. They've got some veteran leadership in guys like Levi Lawrence and Kyle Lohman, but beyond that, it's mostly young players who are learning the game. And unfortunately for them, the Cajuns, they feast on players like that. If you want to beat the Cajuns, you have to be a locked-in veteran squad full of guys. You have to have an almanac of knowledge. I think at absolute worst, the Cajuns are going 2-1. And if I had to bet my money on an outcome, it would be a Cajuns sweep.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the defending champions, Cajuns. They're just not some. And look at Cody Runnels, who plays for the Cajuns. He's saying 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I never like to predict sweeps, but it's real hard to disagree with an assessment like that. I would need to see Levi and Andrew Miller and Holligan show up and show out against a very mature and former champion, defending champion Cajun squad.
And the truth of the matter is they kind of got through the playoffs, I wouldn't say easy, but Their pitching was just
I mean,
undeniable.
Yeah, their pitching was so good and so deep, and they got timely hits. They did exactly what they needed to do to win. What's the second series we've got?
Vedas versus Legends.
Vedas, Legends. That's your team, Trench. Now,
Yeah,
the
but-
Legends are on a little bit of an offensive drought.
Well, there's a reason for that. One is, attendance is a big issue, and
Yep.
Decal, Garcia, they're probably not going to even be there for that game.
Yep.
Decal, top 3, if not one of the best guys in the league in all the categories this year. His bat is always missed, and of course his defense as a flare goes out. Is Dalby going to make a run for it?
Whoa! Jake Purdy reaches out and plucks it from the sky. Oh, an affront to the gods as Jake Purdy reaches his hand out to snatch that ball from the gates of oblivion. Well played.
And then I was talking to Sasai. There might be a couple players missing over there on the Vaders side. But again, when I was talking to Chad earlier, Vaders is one of those squad. If a guy doesn't show up or a guy or two, their squad's so deep that they could kind of fill that position. Legends not as in a position like some of these other teams, so a miss here and there could prove costly.
I agree 100%. And man, oh man, if you're the Bombers, you just need one of those to get down, to
Yes.
squeak through, to just start something.
Or just hit it to Dalby better.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, that was a tremendous play by Purdy, and that is how you win series with plays like that. Not to bring it back to my own team, but Adrian Gutierrez had 2 balls just like that, where he just reached out and somehow made a catch, and those were 2 extremely important outs that ultimately secured the series win for the Ones as Hollis Hale goes down on strikes.
Yeah, he's looking for that ball to wrap around.
Yeah.
Because Jay Spur has that nice little curve right there.
Yep,
but
that's what Dalby did with his home run.
But he's just keeping it straight and making him swing as Trevor Bauer in the box now.
I think that the offense really needs to begin and end with Trevor. He's your defending MVP. Alex is the owner of the team. The Fernandez blood runs through this team. But Trevor Bauer is your 8-ball. You know what I mean? He's your wild card. And he lifts that one into foul territory. No one can get there.
The Fernandez blood, like you said, does run through this team. But the blood that pours out on the field comes from Trevor Bauer.
Yeah,
that's
there
where it
you go.
starts.
That's a great way of saying it. A lovely imagery there. We love gore talk.
gore talk.
Here's the pitch from Spurrier, and it's fouled off. A lot of foul balls. So it's not like Spurrier is untouchable right now. There's a lot of foul balls, some hard hits, some bloops. He's just being a good, savvy veteran pitcher and making his way through it. He's 3 2/3 through this one.
Yeah, and you got to remember, this is, no Tyler Hallett.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if Hallett's out there right now just...
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. No, keep talking.
I'm saying, it's just he's such a game changer for the squad, but they're still just kind of playing at peak performance even when they're missing a guy or two.
Yeah, and I knew I was right here because I was looking at this the other night.
Yeah.
Spurrier leads his team in ERA. That better than Purdy, better than Hallett, better than Dalby. He leads his team at a 1.66. That's minuscule. Now he's only got 21 2/3 innings pitched.
I mean, but that's not
But
5 innings. You know what I'm saying?
you know what I'm thinking about? I'm gonna take it to baseball. I'm a Yankees fan. I know. Shut up. I know. Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
He's been hurt and injured all year.
Okay.
Well, all in past years. So what the Yankees said is they said, okay, we're going to sit you every 4th game. We're going to limit your usage. And we're going to see if that makes, because we'd rather take quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the Lightning are doing with Spurrier. And it's working great. He looks, his numbers are fantastic. But the Bombers are, in my opinion, just an inch or two away from really putting this together against Spur. Let's see if it happens.
And the Bombers are kind of that ball club where they're always kind of right there. They're just missing that one little notch to get over the hump.
You know what I call it, Trench?
What?
The sprinkle. Sometimes you need a sprinkle. And Justin Spurrier, just like that, walks out of this game. He goes back-to-back batters. I was about to compliment him, actually, and say his big problem last year and in years past was he just can't stay in the game. He walks guys. And he was so excellent last game, and he was so excellent for 3 2/3. And all it takes is 30 to 45 seconds of, wait, where's my release point? And all of a sudden, you're out of the game. They'll bring in Purdy here, who walked out of game 1 uncharacteristically. So he's got several innings that can be used in this game. I like this move here, Trench.
If you were just watching Jay Spur without talking to Wiffle Ball and what he's doing, you'd be like, what's he talking about?
Yeah, Spur, you're a very active, energetic player.
Look at that wind on Dalby's shirt. Really, really blistering out there. And like we were saying, if you could just get one up in the air, that ball is going to carry. But low-scoring game so far. But the Bombers threatening first and second, 2 outs. They had this kind of situation, I believe, in game number 1. Didn't come up with anything. Let's see if Alex Fernandez could do something for his ball club.
Big at bat, ball 1 here from Purdy. We know where Alex likes it. Pitch ripped right off the wall. Oh, the outfielder lost it in the sun, and it's a triple off the wall. That, Trench, that is a sprinkle. That's what I'm talking about. Take a look at this replay. That ball is launched. It's hit very well and lost in the sun. Part of being maybe having a rookie in the outfield, that is going to sting and bleed, and we will see just how bad that hurts.
Yeah, and you know what that's going to do? Raise Justin Spurrier's ERA, as those are his runs that came in.
100% correct there. Huge triple for Alex Fernandez. And now we'll see if Zach Hartwell can get that 3rd run in and tie this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if that's a rookie thing or that's just angles with a star burning bright in the sky.
Folks, you see the shadows right now. It ain't great. It is hard to play outfield when the sun is staring you straight in the face. Purdy to Hartwell. Oh, I heard that one. Perfect 55 right off the top tank. And after surrendering the unfortunate triple to Fernandez, Purdy will wriggle out of it. But just like that, we got a game once again. We are entering the 5th. It is 3-2 Lightning.
I mean, they're doing it again, responding. No runs through the 3 innings, and then in the 4th, 5 runs. Last game, there were no runs through 4 innings, 9 runs. So we're kind of seeing a repeat of what's going on, but this time, you got to believe that the Bombers believe in themselves. If they could have a shutdown inning right here and just extend what they were just doing and finally get on top of these Lightning and mount them.
Perhaps. But yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly. It starts and ends with Max. If he can get even just one quick out, that could help set this team right and keep the momentum where the Bombers need it. And if they can't do that, again, then we might be staring down the barrel of a Lightning sweep. The Lightning still have the lead here, but they need to be careful not to start pressing and to force runs across. They got to stay within themselves. Thank you, everyone, for sharing this live on TikTok, for following, for joining, for sending your likes. And we love you on TikTok. We really do. And because we love you, we need to tell you the importance of switching over to Twitch because the stream is just 100 times better. You got your camera angles, you got your replays, you got your layovers so you know what the situation is, how fast the ball was thrown. And you know, you get more clear audio as well. It's just a win-win for everyone. So hop on over to Twitch and join us there. That's where it's really popping. And of course, give us a follow. Ain't nothing wrong with a follow. Here's Max. Swing and a miss from Bruce, who grimaces in pain, as we all know that he's got an elbow injury that didn't stop him from absolutely doinking a home run last game. Max missing low and in there. Next pitch on the way. It's ripped. Foul. Nearly caught by umpire Taylor Briner. Good hands, but not great. So Max will deal to Bruce once again. You got to wonder if the shadows are starting to play as Bruce, slow grounder, off the chest of Trevor. He picks it up, fires one away. And that was the exact start that that Max needed. A nice little ground ball from a really, really good hitter. Settle yourself in. It doesn't get any easier here with Randy Dalby up, however.
Yeah, he sent one to Pluto, his last at-bat.
That one's inside. And, I think the reason that a guy like Randy is going to hit a guy like Max so well is because this riser that Max throws, as that one's fouled off. The riser that he throws, it looks like a scuffball pitch, and Randy is a career scuffball player, and so it just looks a little bit more familiar to him. I'm the same way. Low and inside, the count 2-2. Inside full count, and GK's correct. Every late series deals with these shadows. They will continue to haunt us during our time at this field. Randy Dalby, who was hitless through the first 8 innings, walk, home run, walk, and you can see how Dalby's setting himself up for success here. Max Fernandez is done. It is unclear who the Bombers are going to go to. It looks like Alex is coming in. Bauer struggled in game 1. Pelotas for Alex, and he's dealing. Thanks for joining us, everybody, here on Twitch. This is James, Shoelaces Stein, and Trench Pacone coming to you live via Twitch and also, tangentially, TikTok. We're in the middle of Game 2, towards the end, quite frankly, of our second series of the day. First series of the day featured my ones up against the snappers of the 2 umpires of this game. Jonathan Wilson, a.k.a. Justin Wilson, and Taylor Briner. The ones were able to barely eke out the snappers in the 2-1 series victory. And by the way, Trench, this is a great time to say, the ones are at 7 wins now after being projected to win only 6. We are a third of the way through the season, and we've already surpassed our win total. And so to those who made that prediction, may I kindly say, eat shit. Sorry for cussing. Ball 1.
Chad was saying that might have been a mathematical error.
That's too late. Bulletin board material. Pitch is launched. Oh, my goodness gracious. Jaden Trout having a breakout series here for the Lightning. He had a huge home run in game 1. And now here, after Max walks out, Alex comes in and gives up a big 2-run home run. It's 5-2 Lightning. And things are starting to get grim here in Bomberville. All of a sudden, that 5th seed is up for grabs for anyone.
That might have done it, as now it's going to be 5-2 Lightning.
Here's Tim Riley. He's got a home run in this one. A high fly ball that nicked the right foul pole, was in just the right spot as this one is launched off the hands of Bauer. Lonell Simmons chasing it down, fires in a crazy manner, and it hits off of it. We have dugouts, folks, and those dugouts have support beams. It hit off a support beam, and then I think it might have also hit off Spurrier's face. Looks like everyone's okay. So 1 on, nobody out here. And I'm noticing here, Alex has really changed up his pitching. When I played with him on the Calicos and the Owls for the couple of seasons that I did, he was a big curveball pitcher. He threw that curveball, came up and down, and then it was a sweeper, and it had a little bit of 2-seam action to it. And now it looks like he's really evolved into more of like a slider riser pitcher, perhaps as it relates to this new field and the wind and such. But a 4-pitch walk there, and kind of a non-competitive at bat, and the Lightning are now poised to really open this game up as Justin Spurrier digs in another pivotal moment here. 2 on, nobody out. Fernandez on the bump. Popped up. Bauer makes the play. And that was a much-needed out for Alex Fernandez because, 3 runs in 2 innings, we've seen that that's doable. But if Bruce the Juice goes yah-yah here, there might be a bit of a problem for the Bombers. Bruce nursing that elbow of his. Oh, and it's a soft grounder. Nicely fielded by Fernandez. He throws it in, and the Bombers escape with minimal damage allowed. And again, that's part of winning a series, Trent. You're gonna get hit, right? You're not gonna shut guys out for all 18 innings. You're gonna get hit. Can you limit damage? Alex able to limit damage there, despite giving up a 2-run home run. It did not get out of hand.
5-2, bottom of the 5th. The Bombers need to respond right now, and they have last game. Can they respond here? But it looks like Jake Purdy on the mound right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to stay with Purdy here. and try and secure the series win. And then I think that'll probably, I forget exactly how many innings he's thrown, but he'll probably be sitting at like 3 innings heading into game 3. And Spurrier will have some innings because he's barely thrown at all. Dalby will have some innings, and so maybe they start Dalby, they start Sparkles. Who's to say? But I imagine that this game will be finished off by Purdy, and then Purdy will also have something to say about game 3. Bottom of the 5th inning here. Max Fernandez up. Oh, my goodness. Max Fernandez absolutely laces a ball out of the hand of Jake Purdy. I don't think Purdy's very used to seeing that. Oh, my goodness. That ball was blistered. And the Bombers siren rings. It is 5-3.
They respond as they do.
Really impressive swing there from Max. When he lays into it, he really lays into it. Hollis Hale, I believe, takes that low for ball 1. And so just like that, the Bombers have been fighting the momentum, the currents and waves of momentum. Everything seems to be trending toward Lightning, but the Bombers have been stick-to-itive with it, and they've never given up. And they are certainly within striking distance here with 1 out in the 5th, and the top of their lineup due. We are up above 100 viewers. Ground ball, booted again. The play is made. And there's 2 quick outs. That's what I wanted to see in game 1, up over 100 viewers. Why not get 125? I mean, why not, really? There's plenty of people viewing on TikTok right now. Tell them to come on over. We need them. You get a better experience. You get the replays. You get better quality audio. You get the layover so you can see what inning it is and how fast guys are throwing. You get all of it. And much better camera angles. Purdy with a little hitch in his giddy-up, and he misses inside. So the Bombers are able to get 1 back. And Mateo Fernandez up with 2 outs here. Let's see if he can do a little damage himself.
I mean, you got to remember last game they were down by 2, I believe, and had runners on in the bottom of the 6th. So it's not like they're in unfamiliar territory.
I
but
agree.
Man, they would love to only be down 1, if not tied up, going to the bottom of the 6th. Can they do something here with 2 outs?
Misses outside. And if you're Max, you hit the ball hard, right? So if I'm Max, nothing changes. Whether I hit a single, a double, or a home run, I'm just going to be me. Pitch is low, and I still do not think Purdy has hit the zone with that screwball a single time. He's gotten swings and misses with it, but I just don't think he's hit the zone with it. Big pitch here.
Long, fly, ball. Sheesh.
That was foul, and I don't know if you saw the outfielder. He was settling under it like, oh no, not again. But it's very hard to field in that sun. You can see he's shielding his eyes. And that ball's hot for ball 4. A tremendously large walk. And Purdy probably did that on purpose, seeing if he could get Max to chase. He gambled and lost. So there's a runner on first. And now Alex Fernandez takes a ball. Remember, to those of you who are new, who are just joining us, if you throw the ball over 55 miles an hour, the only way it's a strike is if someone swings at it. And so that 58-mile-an-hour ball right down the middle, that's a ball because it was over 55. That last pitch wasn't, though. And neither is that one as it's fouled off. A little change-up there from Purdy. That ball's outside. And it's 2-2 here from Purdy. Swung on and lifted into the outfield and off the chest of the fielder. Fires over to third. And that is over the time limit. Remember, in the outfield, you can throw it to third base on a single to hold the runner at second. Man on first, single, you throw it to third within 5 seconds, and they are safe at second. But over the time limit there, and now a tremendously large at-bat from Zach the Heart Hartwell. Foul ball.
Man, he was trying to blow it open right there.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the time to play hero ball if you're Zach Hartwell, but
Yeah, he's going to probably
58.
sit out. Oh.
Ooh. Purdy was marching off the mound there, but I think he kind of knows it was hot. So a 1-2 pitch. Grounded. Another screwball beneath the zone, and Purdy will wriggle out of it with no earned runs.
Oh, man, it is coming down to the wire. The Bombers just... Can they take a lead in this series? They're trying. They just can't do it.
Yeah.
They have to isolate the Lightning to a 0 right now. They can't afford to be in a bigger hole than they're in.
It's never been more important for the Bombers to get a shutout inning than it has been right here. And just back to that at bat, man, that was just, in my opinion, mental domination. Jake Purdy completely dictated the pace of that at bat. Zach Hartwell, he's no longer a rookie. You can't give him an excuse for letting Jake Purdy dictate that at bat. Step out. Pretend like there's something in your eye. Take a practice swing. Fart really loud. Do something to disrupt his rhythm. You can't just let him march out there and mow you down like that. And that's part of the learning and growing process. When you're a new player, you get a pass on that. But, as you get into your sophomore year and your veteran years, you gotta know a guy's tendencies. You gotta watch your film. You got to get in his mind, as well as, obviously putting bat to ball. It's such a complex process. We're in the top of the 6th here. Randy Dalby's going to lead it off. After a slow start to this series, Randy Dalby has been electric, couple of walks and a home run. And this ball is inside. We've been treated to 2 fantastic games thus far. The Lightning won the first by this score, 5-3. It'll be interesting to see if the score holds on and they win 5-3 in both of these games, or if they can tack on, or the Bombers can come back. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. Fernandez struggling with the strike zone. It's 3-1. Remember, in this league, you start with 1 strike. That ball inside. Ball 4. So Randy now in his last 4 at-bats, after going like hitless and walkless, last 4 at-bats, walk, homer, walk, walk. You think the Bombers are being careful with him?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be careful with him. Who I would be careful would be this guy right here, as he's putting on a show these first 2 games.
Yeah, a couple of bombs, some really hard scorched balls, and just good plate discipline, good Z-swing numbers, swinging at strikes, looking at balls. Really impressive stuff.
You can see Chad giving him some tips on hitting.
So it looks like Bauer will come in now and take his warm-up pitches. Lovely afternoon here in sunny Las Vegas. We are toward the end of Game 2 of the second series of the day, the last of our 2 series. Between the Bombers and the Snappers. The Bombers and the Lightning. The Lightning took Game 1 in dramatic fashion. They're looking to take 2 in perhaps just as dramatic fashion. And we'll see if Bauer can hold this Lightning offense, which has been good but not great in these first 2 games. Wow, there is some action going on in our chat right now. We see Ricky Bobby getting involved, Cody Runnels getting involved, Malik Ogburn getting involved, chatting, jawing off in anticipation of tomorrow's Lightning, Owls Cajuns series. The Lightning are up now, and Bauer deals strike 1. Strike 2. Same thing. That one just missing the zone at 57. Trying to get him to expand. Screwball that didn't screw, and it's 2-2. Trevor Bauer, the shadows are... Now it's full count. The shadows are really starting to get involved here. The sun is getting rough. It's going to be like this all Game 3 as well, as we have to finish playing before the sun sets. And that ball is grounded up the middle. Jaden Trout continuing his absolute punishment of these Bombers. I think without him, they might lose Game 1. They might be losing this game. A real impact player, and in my opinion, the leader of who will be coming up here to chat with us after this series if he keeps it up.
Of course, here's Tim Riley.
Oh, the little grounder flipped to second, and Hollis is just going to hold it. Here's the deal, folks. When there's a runner, when there are runners on first and third, if there's a ground ball, and you flip it to second and you hold it at second, that runner's going to stay on third. But if the infielder fields it at second and then tries to turn the double play, even if it's successful, the run scores. So the Bombers' strategy there is let's make sure the run doesn't score. We want to keep the run from scoring, and we hope that we get 2 more outs before that run scores. Hope that made sense. Let me know if it didn't or if you have any questions. Ripped up the middle. It won't matter. Base hit. Hartwell fields, fires to third. Look at that arm from Hartwell. You know, Hartwell was umpiring the first series, and we were talking about just how good he is at making that throw from center field over to third base. Really impressive stuff out of him. That one's going to miss. So it's first and second, 6-3 Lightning now, 1 out. And that one misses again. And Bauer had such excellent stuff. It really felt like he made the jump as that one swung and missed. It really feels like he made the jump from pitcher to ace last season when he won that MVP. And this year, it's just not been there the way he wants it. But a big strikeout of Jay Spur there, and there's 2 away. And for the Bombers, you know, if they can just tread water until Bauer really hits his stride, they'll have a real chance at making a deep run in these playoffs. If I remember correctly, the Bombers won in the wild card round last year, but then lost to, I think, the Lightning in the semifinals. If I remember that correctly, I think they beat the Vaders in wild card. And then lost to the Lightning. I remember watching that from my recliner in Honolulu. My season was over. Theirs was not. 2-1 count here to Bruce. Inside 3-1. Boy, oh boy, do you not want to walk the bases loaded.
Yeah, and 2 outs once again. They just having trouble getting that third out.
Swing and a miss at a screwball inside. Bruce helping out Bauer there. It's a full count. People jawing off in the chat right now as that one is tapped foul. We'll do it again. You got Runnels and Ogburn trading words. And we love that. We love the drama here in PLW. Big time pitch coming here from Trevor Bauer. Here it is. Oh, and it looks like it just didn't come out right.
Bases loaded for the Lightning.
And not just for the Lightning. It's for Randy Dalby, who has been locked in all second half of this game. A series-defining at-bat right here between Dalby and Bauer. Strike, but a ball at 57. Oh, man. And in a series where everything seems to be going wrong for the Bombers, there's another. That ball over the speed limit, and therefore a ball. Swing and a miss from Dalby at a screwball that never came back down.
I think I would gas up Randy right here at like 59 or 60 and see if he swings on one.
I'm gassing him up if I'm confident that I can throw strikes. Let's see what Bauer does. He does gas him up a little bit with a drop ball. Welcome, our awesome TikTok people. See someone coming from the Louisiana Bayou. Why don't you get on over to Twitch? That's where the real action is here. As Bauer now goes full count to Dalby. Remember, folks, if you're on TikTok, you really can't see what's going on in the way that you can if you're on Twitch. It's a much better camera angle. Straight ball, lifted, deep. Hartwell, flailing, flopping. It's a single, and that is going to score 2 runs for the Lightning. It is 8-3, and this game might now officially be out of reach.
Did you say flopping, flailing?
Yeah, I did.
I like that.
He was flipping, and he was flopping, and he was flailing. Listen, I'm not trying to disrespect Hartwell. It is rough out there. That sun and this wind will make you look silly. So it's no shade to Hartwell or to Dalby, who was missing balls earlier. But it's just rough times.
Here's Trout once again.
Oh, man, it feels like this guy's up every other batter.
I know. Was that this inning?
It was.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was. They've scored 3 in this. They've scored 3 in this inning.
Okay. 2 outs.
2 outs, 2 on. Lineup of 6, grounded. Flip. There's the inning, but not before the damage is done. An additional 3 cushion runs there for the Lightning, who just simply will not let up on these Bombers. It's going to be Purdy in with 1 walk to his name. He'll try and close this game.
Let me ask you a question, Stein. But I don't know if this is for real or not. How many guys are going to be completing 6 seasons of work on the Bombers? And the reason I'm asking is, do you think you're going to see some movement from the Bombers after their season if there are some unrestricted free agents coming from the Bombers?
Well, I'm looking out on the team, and I believe that the only 2 are going to be Alex Fernandez and Hollis Hale. Maybe Lonell?
Runnels, do you have those answers for us?
Well, I know that the Fernandez...
It's not Bauer?
Bauer didn't show up till season 2.
Season 2?
And neither did Mateo or Max.
You think it's just Alex, and it might be Alex and Big Al?
Big Al did not show up until season 2.
2?
Yeah, because he was originally with us with the Night Owls.
Runnels, what do we got down there?
I'm pretty sure that assessment's correct. I'm fairly confident.
So it's just Alex.
Alex and Hollis.
And Hollis.
Hollis was definitely in it for season 1. I know for a fact that Bauer debuted in season 2 because in my first at-bat ever against him, he threw me a cutter right down the middle and I hit it 635 feet. And I remember thinking, this guy sucks. I was wrong. My fault. Ball's fouled off.
Looks like we got Sparkles.
Oh, my God. I didn't even
on
notice.
The mound.
5-run lead. They're going to try to save Purdy's innings. And, Sparkles, the thing about Sparkles is, we tease him a little bit, but he is more than good enough at getting outs. He does just fine.
Very effective. He has a big-time sweeper. Could also not gas it up, but he could hit that 56, 57.
Oh, no, he plays around with speeds and location. He's not a simple pitcher. He's a student of the game.
He also has like a very low riser that he throws in his repertoire.
That used to be his only pitch, and now it's one of many, many, many different pitches.
When he was originally gonna form a team, I mentioned that he should call his team the Risers.
Wow,
wouldn't that be kind of a cool?
Well,
cool
I played for many years in the Golden Stick Wiffle Ball League, and that league has a franchise named the Risers.
Oh no shit.
I never played for them, but it exists. As that ball is hit over to Bruce, easily handled, flips to Purdy. Oh, Purdy, razzling, dazzling, spinning, firing. Safe at first, and that is not the kind of mistake you want to make. I think Bruce flipped the ball to Purdy because it's his left elbow that hurts him. So
do you think
what happened.
Do you think he's not in the outfield because they don't want him diving around out there?
I think that they don't want to risk him hurting his elbow to a point where he physically cannot play. So anyway, that'll bring up Hollis Hale. Blasted, but foul. I mean, really foul. I think Hollis is going to want that one back, unfortunately. So here we go. Chad settling in against Hollis Hale. These two have faced each other numerous times before. Chad goes inside with some hot pepper chili. It's 2-2. Hollis Hale, base hit. Dalby Fields, he throws over to third. That should contain the runner at second. So an error, reach on error from Max. And then Hollis Hale with a nice little dink and dunk single, kind of giving the Bombers exactly what they need. And look who's up at the plate. It's Big Al added to the bottom. And that ball is over to second, tapped. Purdy Fields steps on second.
Sorry.
He fires double play.
My body touched the thing. Ay, ay, ay. That was ugly.
Oh, boy, and that is not what the doctor ordered. Runner on third, 2 outs for the top of the lineup. And I understand Big Al wants those at-bats. It's just an absolute shame. And it looked like he was just inches away from really squaring that one up. Bauer swings and tips it into the zone. This is what I'm talking about with Sparkles. You know what? Al put a decent swing on that ball.
Yeah.
But, hey, you trust your defense. And sure enough, it gets you 2 outs.
What a pitch by Sparkles.
Oh, right down the middle to end it. Sparkles is all smiles, and so are this Lightning team. They take the series, and they will look to sweep. We will be right back with that endeavor in just a few moments.
That's a deep drive. Brandon Gregg! Oh! Taylor Briner! Brandon Gregg, what a catch and play!
There's 9 games total.
Damn. Okay.
And we've got a home run for the Bombers.
Oh, wow. Murph grabs that like a boss.
Where's the hole? I thought I had that the whole way.
Oh! Sansone just smoked it off Buck Burner's mouth.
Looking really good as Gio unloads on that. And we were saying that the winds are kind of, slightly going out there.
That was a ugly looking swing. The bat must have broke there from Murphy. Looks like he's gonna go get a new one. Let's take another look at this.
Oh, man, that might be the furthest PLW home run at this field. Holy cow.
And then Hicks flew out.
Oh, that's a deep fly ball. That might go over. Oh! It's a fan, I think.
Really found his stroke here tonight, and he just smoked that ball. That
Left side. Oh, GK with another amazing play. Wow.
Day gets under that one. That's going to be a tricky play, but Eder
What a catch.
lays out with a big play.
Hit this pitch, but
and that's ripped by Corral. Manny Patricus, one-handed diving catch, a highlight play.
and get the save, and we're good to go.
J-Dub, mammoth shot to the container.
Keep it in.
Do not lay one in. Jake Purdy, deep drive, right field. Purdy with the bomb to tie it up. Deep drive, Howland, bat flip, gone! Home run, Tyler Howland, 7-6, Lightning, and they strike again on Tom Gannon.
Surfboard out there, waxing it up. She's ready to go, and that goes off J-Dubs.
Ripped by Dolby out of here! Home run to tie it up! The Lightning have tied it up! And Randy Dolby wins the matchup between him and Gannon. Oh
Tie
my
game.
goodness! Tie ball game!
Oh, he hit it off Tanner.
Oh my God! TK Rabbit! He did it! Walk-off home run!
Welcome back, PLW Nation. We are here live for Game 3 of Bombers Lightning. It has been all Lightning thus far, a really close game, Game 1. Game 2 close for most of it, but the Lightning pulled away there in the 6th inning. They win that one 8-3. The Bombers are going to look to salvage a series split here, and the Lightning are going to look to put their foot on the gas pedal and maybe start competing with the Vaders and the Vipers.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of anticipated that. The Lightning are trying to become the 6th different winner of PLW if they could somehow pull off a championship this year. And if they have their team, stacked like they do, like I said, remember, they're missing Tyler today. Imagine Tyler out there right now. It's just, in addition to what they already have, this team is very, very dangerous. And now that Sparkles is seeing some action on the mound, watch out for these guys.
Yeah, it is an absolutely violent Lightning team. They were this way the entire year. Last year, Season 5, they rebuilt after Season 2, after Season 3, after Season 4. They put in a ton of time during the hiatus. They made it to the finals. They fell short in 4 games, but they are back, and they are showing that they are no slouch and ready to compete for a title. Meanwhile, the Bombers, who entered 9-8 today, they got some work ahead of them. This is a very dangerous Lightning team. They got to find a way to win this game.
Yeah, and I just don't know how they're going to do it. Purdy still has innings left. Spurrier has innings. Dalby has innings. I think the way that they're going to have to win is they need to jump on the Lightning first, apply a little bit of pressure.
Yes.
As we have a little lightning bolt coming out of the Lightning dugout.
Oh, wow, look at that. Kid's ready to play. He's the next generation of Lightning players.
See him in season number probably like
18, 19? No, much
like
later.
22, 23.
Yeah, maybe even later than that. But But yeah, the Bombers. It starts with a lead, right? You can't win if you don't have a lead. So the Bombers need to see themselves have a lead in this one. It hasn't happened yet. The Lightning have left the door open for them in both games because scoring didn't happen until the second half of each game. So the Bombers need to come out, and they need to come out angry and focused, right? You come out angry and unfocused, and you're going to strike out in every single at-bat. But I speculate that the Bombers will see multiple Lightning pitchers this game. They're probably going to see a little bit of Dalby, a little bit of Spurrier, a little bit of Purdy.
I got a question.
Yeah, oh yeah, what's that?
Do you think we're going to see scoring in the first inning of game number 3?
Yeah, I do. I think that the Lightning might strike first, and then I think that the Bombers might come roaring back. I'm thinking it might be 3-2 after the first in favor of the Bombers. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that. I think what's happening is that as the sun sets, the conditions are getting a little bit more normalized, and I think we're going to see these two teams hit quite a bit in this last game.
All right, let's get game number 3 on its way.
It is time to get rolling here, folks. We have been streaming for quite some time. Those first 2 games took a little bit longer than you might expect them to, with the first nearly going to extra innings, and then the second, just lots of foul balls, lots of long ABs, lots of pitching changes on both sides.
Okay.
And we got some jawing and jabbing and jappering out there on the field.
Well, it's 6:30. That's why we got to go.
It's time to go. It is time to play.
And look at this guy. Always talking about how we need to speed up the game. And now, he got an inning in, struck out Bauer. Now he's all pumped up.
They're throwing balls up here.
Sometimes I just can't stand that guy. Okay, here we go. Game number 3. Let's go.
Trevor Bauer on the mound for the Bombers. Don't have a report yet on who will be out there for the Lightning. Probably who? Dalby?
Sparkles is going for game number 3.
Wow.
You have to tune in for this.
That is something you're going to want to see here, folks. We have a few hundred viewers between TikTok and Twitch. Listen, to all my people on Twitch, all my people on TikTok, all my people on Twitch, we love you. All my people on TikTok, look, if you want to watch on TikTok, I'm not going to twist your arm about it. But if you want multiple camera angles, if you want replays, if you want the screen layover, if you want the chat, if you want to be able to bet on these games with Wiffle points, the place to go is Twitch. We bet with fake cookies, and you can save them up in exchange for things like signed balls and signed hoodies, meet and greets with some of the players. And so you're really doing yourself a disservice as that ball's going to roll fair. Bauer fields it. He fires.
I missed that one.
And he skipped it in, huh?
Yeah, I think that hit the turf. And then when you rush the throw and you don't square up your hips, you have that kind of throw your arm into the ground.
Yeah, you tug on it. And for the record, for those who are new, in order to make a ground out in this league, as long as it's a fair ball, you have to field it and then throw it to either the backstop or the strike zone on a fly within 5 seconds.
I lost my mojo right there. Mateo was giving me some hand gestures.
I saw that.
That are going to have to be talked about, or
he might receive a warning. Who's to say?
Oh, he's going to receive something more than that.
Oh boy, I don't know about that. Here's Bauer. Oh boy, right down the middle, but at 58 to Bruce there.
You might see in the PLW board chat. Trench suspended for multiple games for actions that took place after the Bombers Lightning series in the parking lot.
Wow. Here's Trench with a big early pitch. Bruce takes it upstairs. And you can see Trevor is squatting in between pitches. The sun is right in his eyes, so he's asking for the ball to be rolled or bounced back to him rather than thrown. This ball fouled back. Yeah, you can see him. Watch the way he squats down. He doesn't have back problems. I mean, he might. I don't know. But it's so that the sun doesn't get in his eyes. It's hard to see. This is truly the witching hour of whiffs.
That's when the Dragon Lady comes out.
Yeah, it is when the Dragon Lady comes out. A little screwball and Bruce extending the at-bat. Mama Fernandez in the chat. Mama Fernandez watched her boys get a series win against my ones last week. She lost her tent, but saw her boys win. So, the universe giveth and taketh away. A big strikeout there for Trench, and there's one away here in the top of the first. That'll bring up Randy Dalby, who I can't even remember the last time he made an out. He tips that one into the zone. I think he'd like that one back.
He's a very streaky person, and when he gets on these offensive streaks, very, very difficult to wrangle in.
Such a long, powerful swing. Takes that one low. And the thing about Dalby is that for a guy of his size and stature and swing speed, he has a better eye than most. A lot of these big, hard-swinging guys, they chase a lot. Not so much Dalby. Fouls that one back toward us. And the count's still 1-2. By the time we're halfway through this game, I think that the shadows will no longer be affecting the pitcher or the batter. But for now, they are still very much in the way of Trevor Bauer. And it just makes your experience a little less comfortable out there for a pitcher. You have to be able to adjust. Outside. So we've been treated to some big home runs, some tremendous defensive plays, as that one is absolutely gobsboggled. Oh my goodness, Randy Dalby. What a shot. Oh my goodness.
I didn't even know where it went. It just went up into the sky, and
it went through the fabric of the universe, Trench. That ball is no longer with us in the way that we conceptualize time and space. Ugh, boy. I wonder what it's like to be able to hit a ball that hard. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm loaded on that.
Gosh, golly, gee. Pitch is outside. So I said that I expected the Lightning to score 2 and the Bombers to come roaring back. So far my prediction is well in line. Wow, is that ball hit hard. I need a moment after that one. Okay, I'm back. Pitch.
Good pitch by Bow Bow right there.
Yeah, that feels like the very first time that Trout has been fooled by a pitch all day. He has been so just all over the ball. And when your role players show up, it is hard to beat this Lightning team. Screwball ripped up the middle. And it looks like Bauer's really leaning on that screwball, and the Lightning know it. So they're just sitting screwball in some part of the plate, and that's the one that they're choosing to swing at. So if I'm Trevor, I might change things up. But a screwball that misses there. Where did his knuckleball go?
Yeah, he hasn't been throwing the knuck as much.
It was so nasty all season 5. What happened? I'm going to talk to him after this series.
There it is.
There's
right.
one. He must have heard me.
Not only that, I think he hasn't been really utilizing that drop pitch as much.
If you go back and you watch, not to make it about me, but if you go back and watch the first series of the game, I'm pretty sure that's the most drops I've ever thrown in one series.
Yeah.
Because the wind was dictating that be the pitch that I lean on. And so I did. Swing and a miss, and an ugly one there from Riley. His first bat at bat of, I think, the whole series. I mean, these Lightning have... it's not like they've been blowing the Bombers out of the water, but they've just been putting such high quality at bats together. It's just hard to beat them. Ground ball. Fielded. Flipped. And that'll end the inning. So, as I predicted, the Lightning score 2. Now, the other part of that prediction was that the Bombers are going to come back and score 3. They need to score, and they need to do it right. They need to find a way to get a lead. Otherwise, it is going to be a long, long third game for these Bombers.
Yeah, but they're going to have to go through Chad, Sparkle, Phillips, and our prediction came true with runs being scored in that first inning, which haven't happened in the first 2 games. But Sparkle's going to, they're just trying to get a inning maybe, or what do you think, just an inning out of Sparkles and go directly to Dalby or Purdy?
I'm imagining it'll be Spurrier and Purdy. I don't know how many innings together they have combined, but I'm sure it's at least 4 or 5. So they'll probably start Chad because they have to start a different third starter. And quite frankly, Dalby didn't have it on the mound today. So when you have a deep rotation like this, that's what you can afford to do. And then I imagine they'll just go straight to Spur and they'll let Purdy come in and close it out. So big inning here for the Bombers and their offense.
Yeah, and Sparkle's outing, how long it's going to last is going to be dictated on what happens here and if the Lightning could score any more runs in the top of the second. Because if Chad could get some more run support there. He'll probably leave himself out there until he gets in some trouble, then immediately go to another pitcher.
Yeah, if the Bombers don't score here and the Lightning get another 3 or 4, look for Chad to come back out. But other than that scenario, I think that this Lightning team is so obsessed with winning the series.
Yeah.
And they've already won the series. And so now they're going to throw everything, which means if Purdy's got an inning, we're using every single out of every single pitch of every single inning of him. That's just the way that this team operates. First ball is off of Chad and right to Purdy. And in a series where nothing is going the Bombers' way.
Do you think that brought flashbacks of when Chad got hit with the golf ball?
Probably not, because getting hit with a golf ball is way worse than getting hit with a whiff. I didn't know he was hit with a golf ball.
Yeah.
Ouch.
He had a huge dent in his head. We've gone over this.
I don't know these things.
I thought you were an avid watcher.
I am, but I when you guys don't talk whiffs, I just zone out. Mateo Fernandez fouls that off. So one inauspicious out there for Sparkles. And an out is an out is an out, and he's 2 away now from potentially doing his job.
Careful with the floater, Sparkles. Got to be careful right here. Mateo loves those slurve pieces.
I agree. The key for the Bombers here, you have to build an at-bat.
And
Mateo Fernandez built that one right out over the containment. See ya!
It's just, when you're playing poker and you're watching the game from the outside, it's like very easy to know if they have 2 pair or they're going for a flush or what they have. But when you're in the game, it's a little bit more difficult. Same thing when you're watching whiffs. It's like, I knew that Mateo was going to wait on that exact pitch.
You were saying it.
And Sparkles just wasn't aware enough not to throw that.
Well, I think he might have been trying to push it inside, and he caught a little bit of plate, and you don't want to do that against Mateo. That ball was boop, bop, bingly, doink, bang, boink, binkled, right up on out of here, and it's 2-1. Okay, so the Bombers are a third of the way of completing my prophecy. Let's see what Alex Fernandez does here. Chad going 3-1 on Alex. And ball 4 it is. So Chad now with a home run and a walk and an out. And Chad's just going to give it up. He says, all right, come on in, Purdy. Look at that. Chad taking himself out. During this warm-up, I want to remind all of the wonderful people who we have on TikTok. Between Twitch and TikTok, we're looking at about 200 people right now, which I am more than happy with. But listen, if you're on TikTok, you're missing out. I mean, I know I've said this 100 times, but you really got to get over to Twitch. It's just the camera angles, the replays, the overlay, the audio quality. There is no reason, if you are watching this on TikTok for any more than 20 or 30 seconds, if you're scrolling by for 20 seconds, okay.
It's a sample.
Yeah, that's a nice sample. Maybe you follow, maybe you come back another time. If you're sitting here and looking at your phone for any period of time more than 20 or 30 seconds, do it on Twitch, okay? You can subscribe for free with Amazon, and you get so much more of the PLW experience. We've had at least one person come over from Ireland, as that one's grounded, over to Dalby. There's one. Fires home. Oh, and he spikes it.
Let me ask you a question, Stein. If you were in that position, same talent level as Chad, do you pull yourself and give it to Purdy? Or do you try to get another out?
I mean, I would need to know the exact inning counts, but I ironically pride myself on not being proud, so I'm pulling myself. You know what I mean? If I feel I'm doing whatever it takes to get the team the best chance at winning.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah, normally in the past, Chad might have been like, let me just stay in the game and see if I could get this out. But these guys they want to show that they're a dominant team. They're trying to go for a chip, and every win matters for them now.
Well, every win especially matters because the 2 teams above them just won't stop winning.
Yeah.
We've got the Vipers and the Vaders both on unbelievable win streaks. The Vipers broke the all-time record, which was held by your Legends at 14. They've now won 16 straight.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons is they haven't faced off. Like, we haven't seen a Vaders, Cajuns, Vipers, Cajuns, Vipers, Lightning. It's been
we're gonna see
perfect storm.
We're going to see that
for these teams to get these winning records.
Yep.
But it's coming very soon where you're going to see 2 18-3 teams or a 20 and whatever team going and battling, and it's going to feel like a playoff scenario is what it's going to feel like.
Yeah, it's going to be an early taste of the playoffs. And then at the same time, we're going to get really heated series between teams like the Bombers and the Snappers, and the Legends and the Pharaohs. We're going to get the Ones and the Owls. We're going to see those series happen again. And those are going to have tremendous relegation implications because if you're not playing for the playoffs, you're playing hard for that 6th seed. You get to stay in the league. You are not at any risk. And the rest of them, they go into relegation and then possibly even the Challengers Tournament.
Let me tell you, Legends last year, they were in that 6th slot after an incredible win streak, and then we missed the playoffs and we're in that 6th spot. You don't even get to do anything. You're not playing in the Challengers Tournament.
Oh! I hate to interrupt, but Zach Hartwell with an amazing diving catch on a ball that wouldn't stop bleeding. Oh, boy, that ball must have taken him 60 feet to his right. What a play by Hartwell.
Great athleticism from Moo Pants out there.
No doubt. Anyway, sorry, you were saying, Trent.
I was saying it's like when you're in that 6th seed, though you want to stay out of any relegation talk, your season is literally over in that 6th seed. There is no more whiffs. That's it.
Yeah, so you're a spectator, but at least you're not playing for your life. Screwball right on in there at 52 to Bruce. Wow, what a play by Hartwell right there. That play coming in is so much harder than it looks, especially with the wind. Oh, messy swing there from Bruce. And you don't see a swing like that from Bruce too often. He hits the zone on the backswing. 2 away.
I'm curious to know what the Lightning schedule is. I wonder if there's a portion that they could say, listen, take a week or 2 off, Juice. You know, maybe playing a team that has like a very sub 500 record and
Pharaohs,
say, listen,
Ones, Owls.
Yes. And just say, hey, we could afford the loss here or there if it does happen, rather than like let him get his elbow good.
Maybe show up and play some defense if you want to come hang out.
Yes.
But I think from what Bruce has told me, this is going to be a multi-month recovery process as that one is lifted to infinity and beyond. Hits the top of Hollis Hill. Randy Dalby has his 3rd home run in 2 games. This kid is in meta mode here. Life is a video game, and Randy Dalby is player 1. Trench, that ball was oinkle, boinkle, spink, dinkly, spoinkled, and it is now 3-1 Lightning.
I can't even get my camera to even acknowledge anything, as it's just, I mean, just these towering shots.
You've heard of camera shy, Trench?
Yeah.
The camera is shy of Randy Dalby.
Jeez.
Goodness gracious. It doesn't get any easier here with Trout, although he taps one softly for the first time in what feels like forever. Fernandez makes the play. Good bounce back there from Bauer, who's going to clearly have to battle all game to keep his Bombers within striking distance.
And there's a Lightning schedule. I can't see it over here, but what's it looking like?
Well, they got the Snappers, then the Ones, then the Snappers, then the Legends, then the Pharaohs. This is an opportunity.
That's not a bad lineup.
Not
right there.
at all. This is a big opportunity, and I can tell you with certainty I won't be there for that June 1st series where we play the Lightning.
What do you think? Do you sit Bruce for a series?
I don't know. I mean, again, what he was telling me is that this is a multi-month recovery process.
Okay.
So it's like kind of the thing where it's like it's torn, it's not going to tear anymore, and it's not going to heal up in 2 weeks. So tough call. I told him he needs a PRP shot, is what it sounds like. They take your blood and they spin it around, you know what I mean, and then they inject it back into you. That's what I got in my elbow.
Yeah.
And look, my elbow is still a little wonky, but if you look at the way that I've been playing this year compared to last year, I was playing with one arm last season, and it was very, very difficult. So I recommend that. So if you have $450 and can afford it, and you've got some sort of pain in a ligament, I recommend it strongly. Anyway, back to this game. Spurrier on the mound. And like I said, as I predicted, the Bombers are going to see multiple Lightning pitchers, and indeed, they've seen now 3 different pitchers in just 2 innings. We got 2 great series coming up tomorrow, too. I won't be there to bring them to you, but someone else will. We thank you for joining us. Up past 100 on Twitch, up past 100 on TikTok. And if you're on TikTok, and I know I've said this before.
Have you?
I have.
Okay.
You need to come on over to Twitch. You're missing out. You're missing out on the camera angles. You're missing out on the replays. You're missing out on the audio quality, the video quality, all of it. Swing and a miss. Got him.
I want to give a big shout out to the stream team, of course, as we have 3-time MVP Taylor Briner working that left side. We're kind of cruising down towards the end of this game.
Not really. It's the
Well,
second
I mean,
inning.
end of the series.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Taylor Briner. We got Jonathan Wilson, a.k.a. Justin Wilson, over on first base ump. Down in the dungeon. Big C run as that one is right through Purdy and stopped before it gets to the wall. And then, of course, there's me and you up here, Trent.
Yeah, we're doing it. I'm on the camera today commentating with my boy, James Shoelace Stein. Love having him up here, one of my favorite commentators to have up here, as you don't come up here quite often, as you don't live here.
Yeah, I do it when I can, and I'll be able to do it next week as well, as this one is barely tapped over to Purdy somehow. He's going to end up turning that double play, and
Wow,
we
it
got
felt
an
like
out.
it was over.
It felt like that one took a while to develop, but 5 seconds is a long time, and just like that, the Lightning are marching off the field once again. Oh, a challenge flag soars through the air. Keep the replay going, please. Okay, folks, here's what's happening. One of our stopwatches, we have multiple stopwatches timing these plays. Remember, the rule is you need to finish the play within 5 seconds. The rule is if one of those watches is under 5 seconds and one of those watches is over 5 seconds, you are allowed to challenge the play. It's exactly what's going to happen. Our two lovely umpires, Taylor and J-Dub, are going to go into the dungeon with Cody Runnels. We will keep that replay running again and again and again. They'll time it not once, not twice, but thrice to make sure that they've got it right. They will agree, and then they will come out and hopefully, with good mechanics, make a call. I always get worried, Trench, about the mechanics of the umpires when they're making these calls. We got two veterans, so I'm sure they will get the call right. But the question is if they will get the mechanics right with that call. Is that Ian Crosby in the chat?
Cody Runnels going to be showing those umpires what's going down. Let's see if it's going to be an out or not. And you can see right now they're going over and they're reviewing J-Dub in there. Also Taylor Briner in there. And it looks like they've come to a conclusion. Let me get the camera and go to our our aficionados that are now going to be coming. You can see J-Dub and
they're
Briner.
Coming out. They're
like the Undertakers.
I was thinking it's like the Pope with the smoke.
Yes,
with the white
yes,
smoke.
let's go with that look. I would do something like that. And here we go.
Let's see the call. It is a double play. Look, all right, it was a good announcement. I would have liked to see better mechanics personally.
Yep.
We really need to clean things up with the umpires. It's getting a little ridiculous, in the words of DeMarcus Cousins. What did J-Dub have? I don't know what you mean by that. He had under 5 at the end of it. Oh, you mean at the beginning? I don't know. Who's to say? 499 is what I'm hearing from command control. Yeah, they had 499 and 500. Command center, do we have a time that they agreed that it actually was?
Yeah, we need a little of like some music or something when those umps come out.
I want little robotic boop, 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 boop. Oh, it was 498 and 500. But what was what was the actual accurate call? It had to be under 5.
Holding a little smoke?
Yeah, a little lantern.
Yes.
Umps had the correct call on the field, but I want to know what the time was. If we don't have it, that's fine. Oh, it was 4.99.
Wow.
Oh, my good. And again, on a day where everything is just going the way of the Lightning, it's not like the Bombers are playing a bad series. You know what I mean? It's not like the Lightning are just dominating them. The issue here is that sometimes, Trench, if you want to win, you need a little sprinkle. And right now, the Lightning got all the jimmies.
1/100th of a second. That's like a praying mantis strike.
Yeah. Or a Bruce Houston swing.
Wow, or something with Chuck Norris.
Yeah, something like that. Hey, we have a high for the day on
Wow.
Twitch. We are approaching 125 on Twitch, over 100 on TikTok, and that's lovely. But I'm telling you, my TikTok friends, I love you. I care about you. I want to treat you right. Come on over to Twitch. Watch us on Twitch. You get the camera angles. You get a much better view. You get much higher quality audio. You get the chat in there. You get to interact. You can look up the rules. You can follow and subscribe. You get free subscription with your Amazon Plus account. I don't know what else to tell you, man. You're missing out on the actual best parts of the product. That's all I can say. And some people are listening because we're up higher now than ever before. Bauer will pitch to Riley, and it's inside.
I mean, it's only a 3-1 game. For me, I feel like the Lightnings can't score over 4 or 5 for the Bombers to contend in this one.
I agree.
I mean, for me, the magic number for them would be 5. I think the Bombers could put up 5 or 5 plus. So we'll have to see.
Knuckleball upstairs. We got a first-time chat.
Who is it, Stein?
I don't even know. Jacob, 14. I don't know if you're a 14-year-old kid, but honestly, you got to come with a better chat than high, as that one's popped up. Looks playable. Mateo calls it and plays it. Yeah, if it's your first-time chat, I need you to come with something a little bit more energetic than high. Maybe on someone else's day where they're in the booth, they'll accept high. But
I don't really like seeing that either.
Yeah, no. Come with something cool. Give me a question. Make a claim. Stake a position. Ground ball. Alex Fields. Little loopy-doopy floater on in there with plenty of time to spare.
It looks like the Bombers are starting to settle down just a bit, other than Randy Dalby hitting
Oh, my. Randy is just
maximum
going to work on
power
them.
out there.
This game has his fingerprints all over it. Here's Spurrier. 2 quick outs. I would love to see a 1-2-3 inning for the Bombers. I don't think they've had a single 1-2-3 inning since the first game.
What a nice pitch by T-Bow.
Absolutely beautiful screwball. Looks like he's finally finding the release point with that to put it right where he wants it. Look at that. And then, oh God. So he gets the perfect outside tink, and then he comes 1.5 inches off the pipe. Really clever stuff. Nearly halfway through this third game here. The Lightning lead this series 2-0. Bombers scrapping for a win here. Did that hit? No, I don't think that hit.
Barely went under. It's going to even up the count. 2-2. When's the next time you're playing, Stein?
I'll be here next week to play the Sand Vipers, which will be a rough matchup. Swing and a miss. Nice little screwball. A lot of screwballs in that at bat, and that one well placed on the inside part of the plate. Take a look at this one more time. Now, I'm sure you're listening on TikTok being like, what do you mean take a look at this one more time? I'm looking at an empty field. Well, it's like I've been trying to tell you. We have instant replay on Twitch. We can't offer that to TikTok. Not yet, at least.
Runnels, give me the last 5 opponents of the Vipers.
In the meantime, what's the farthest home run y'all have ever hit? How far do you think the ball's been hit?
185.
185 maybe. That sounds about right. I hit one close to that on a day where there was like a hurricane. I don't really count it.
I mean, if you're hitting it like way clear of Hollis Hill over there.
Yeah, that's going to be like 180.
That's going to be in the 180 range.
Yeah. So here's the series now for the Vipers.
Who have they beaten during this streak?
They have beaten the Bombers, the Snappers, the Night Owls, the Legends, and the Pharaohs. 16 wins in a row.
Winning's not easy at any level, but and congratulations to them to having such a great streak. But we were not seeing any real strong competitors.
Well, they got the Bombers in there, so
they had the Bombers
are a competitive team. But on the whole, yeah, you're right. Lower tier teams, and you got to feast on those. So props to the Vipers for doing that. I see someone misspeaking in the chat. Someone asked, "Who's the GOAT of Wiffle?" And look, Taylor Briner might be the GOAT of this league, but the GOAT of Wiffle is a guy named Kevin Norris of The Enemy. He's from Connecticut. It's him. Let's not get that twisted. All right, pitch on its way. Oh, Mateo Fernandez. Hey, how far did that one go?
That was
150?
Yeah, that was probably a 145 to 155 banger right there. And as much as these Lightning are in complete control, the Bombers again are just sticking around.
It's a one-run game, Trench, and nobody's out here in the third. big hit from Mateo Fernandez.
That's
off
his what?
Jay
His
Spur.
second home run, maybe third of the day.
Yeah, I think it's his third.
Third home run of the series.
He will get his. There's a few things, a few constants in life: death, taxes, and Mateo Fernandez getting his.
Yeah.
Unless he's playing against me. Never hit a home run against me. One of my few flexes in this league.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Just kidding. I've got a bunch of flexes.
I've gone yard off you, Stein.
You hit a grand slam off me one time that I will never forget. I know. You looked like a child up at the bat. I was like, I'm just going to throw one right down the middle. And then you uncoiled and exploded, hit it into the Garden of Serenity. I was like, what just happened?
That was the year I think I hit 5 grand slams.
Yeah, that was crazy. You were king of the grand slam that year, man. Alex Fernandez walks, and now Justin Spurrier finds himself in a bit of trouble after a really easy second inning here. All of a sudden, he's running into Spurrier problems, struggling to find the zone. This is something that has plagued him throughout his whole career. There's somebody on TikTok who knows who Kevin Norris is. So whoever you are on TikTok, you got to come to Twitch because we got some chumps in here who don't know who Kevin is. And if you don't know who Kevin of the Enemy is, well, you just haven't done your Wiffle research enough. Anyway, back to this game, this league. Jay Spur dealing to Max. Fouls it off the zone.
Max, he's got that locked-in look.
Well, he blasted one earlier.
If Spur misses inside again.
Oh, foul. So it's 1-2 against Max Fernandez, who, if I'm not mistaken, he's already foul-tipped one into the zone with 2 strikes, which means if he does it again, he'll be out. Right down the doinkly-dank-dinkle, but 56.
Yeah, it looked hot at the release.
Yeah, it looked hotter than 56 to me, honestly.
I thought so too. Max recognizes that it's going to be an even count, 2-2.
Yeah, now remember, we use Pocket Radar, and we love Pocket Radar. As that one is popped up, I don't think it's got the distance. Fielded, dropped. Oh, man. For everything that's gone right for the Lightning, their outfield has really struggled with this wind and in this lighting. It has been rough.
I mean, not that they're lucky, the Lightning, but if the Bombers just did a little bit better hitting, the Wiffle gods would be in complete control.
I agree.
As Hollis Hale.
All right, here we go. This is certainly the at-bat of the day for the Bombers. Hollis Hale, first and third, nobody out.
Good take by Hollis right there. He loves those inside pitches.
He does it. That's such a veteran move. You know what I mean? A newer player might just swing out of their shoes at a ball like that. Great take there. Swung
Spinner.
off the foot of Spurrier and into the outfield. I think they'll hold the runner at second, but that is going to tie the game.
And here come the Bombers.
Now, in this league, the pitcher is allowed to use their foot to stop the ball. I believe that was intentional by Spurrier.
Yes.
He saw that ball going up the middle and said, I'm going to try and kick it to either Bruce or Jake, and it just went into the exact wrong space. So it's the bottom of the third, a 3-3 count. It's first and second, nobody out. Spurrier in big trouble here against Hartwell. Inside. And by the way, to the person asking that question on TikTok, you wouldn't need to ask that question if you would just come to Twitch. We got the full scoreboard on full display and the better camera angles, the better audio, the better product.
The reason we don't, I don't know if you could implement those things on TikTok, but that's just a teaser of what you got going on.
There's a way to do an overlay. I think we're working on it. I think our
you
chief
could go to the
engineer-
club and throw some ones out there, or you could go to the private room.
Yeah. And guess what? In terms of that analogy, no difference in cost when you're talking Wiffle. So it's not like you're spending a bunch of extra money or something. Come on over to Twitch. Why not? Pitch. Lifted. Off the way! And it's out of here! Oh, off the hands of the outfielder! And the curse strikes again. Trench, you can't tempt the Wiffle gods by bobbling and blistering balls like that and not expect for them to strike you back. Zach Hartwell blasts that ball, and a Jose Cansecoian outcome as it hits off the hands of the outfielder and goes over the left field wall. And we got a completely new ball game. It is 6-3 Bombers.
Oh, and he's just hanging his head out there. He is feeling it. There's no worse feeling than kind of letting your team down. It was in your hands.
Oh, man, heart in your throat. I've been there, man. We've all been there. You got to take your licks sometimes, and it has been a rough day for this Lightning outfield as that one's hit to Bruce, picked up by Purdy, steps, fires, one away, all of that, and now finally one out.
First out. Is this 6 runs by the Bombers? Or 5 runs by the Bombers
It
this
is
inning?
5 runs. No. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 runs.
5 runs because that Mateo home run led off the inning, yeah.
Here's
Sheesh.
T-Bow. Good pitch by Spur right there.
Lovely curve to that pitch right there. A nice little hook from a lefty. And the Bombers have answered the call. And all of a sudden now it's the Lightning who look a little bit slow and tired. Their legs look a little heavy. Maybe they're starting to run out of steam here. So a bit of a pause there. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. You know, this kind of happened to the Lightning last week, too, if I remember. Weren't they playing the Pharaohs last week? And they won the first 2 games, and then they just couldn't hang on to the third. Bauer, the other way. This is trouble. Jaden Trout can't corn. Nice little play there. Running it down. And so Bauer, who now probably needs to think about pitching a little bit more than hitting, he flies out, and that'll bring up Mateo Fernandez. Mateo began this inning with a massive home run. And now he finds himself up in the same inning with his team winning by 3.
Oh, good swing by Mateo.
Yeah, I think he's going to want that one back. Really nice pitch there.
If he could have made contact right there, that would have been 2 in 1 inning. He's starting to come around a little bit. These are the Bombers that we kind of expect to show up every time.
Yeah.
He's energetic.
Relentless hitting.
Yes. Never give up. And they're finally up in the series very early on so far. Let's see if the Lightning can get out of this one.
Yeah, good point in the chat. The Bombers do not get swept very often. So a nice extended at bat here for Mateo Fernandez. We want to thank all of y'all for joining us throughout this stream. It's been a blast doing it with you as we reach the end of this marathon.
I think it's going to bring it to a 3-2 count, full count right here.
Yeah, and I believe Spurs already got a walk, so he really needs to throw a strike here if he wants to continue playing in this game.
Got to be careful, though. Mateo knows what's about to happen. Right, big shot to Purdy. Picks it up himself, and that's going to do it for the Bombers, but not after the Bombers strike with 5 in the bottom of the third.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is just what the doctor ordered, man. They really, really needed to perform here, and they do just that. Boy, that's got to be a huge sigh of relief for them.
What do you think's happening in that Lightning dugout? Are they in slightly panic mode? Are we down? Or do they think that they could get it done against T-Bow and the Bombers?
Well, I'm not sure because we've seen the Lightning do this a couple of times this season where they win the first 2 games and then they just can't lose or they can't seem to win that third one and complete that sweep.
Yeah.
So if I'm the Lightning, I don't know. I kind of probably take one of those like, oh, well, nothing changes mentality. But in the back of your mind, you got to be thinking, why can't we win that third game?
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think these Bombers are going to pull this one off?
I think it depends on how many innings everyone's got left. I mean, Bauer has given 3 really good innings so far. I think they can win this one. I'm not sure if they will win this one because, as we've seen, one little thing can just make everything go wrong for the Bombers. We've seen it in both of the first 2 games. So they're hanging on, but it's by a tighter thread than the score looks.
Let's see what happens here against these dangerous Lightning. I don't know who's up right now. I see Riley with a bat. I see Trout with a bat. I see Yuson with a bat.
I think they're trying to figure it out. Oh, boy, my back is a little sore.
Yeah, you got to stand up sometimes.
Well, I stood for the entire series that we were playing, so I've been sitting ever since, and that was a nice, lovely rest. But now it's time to get that lactic acid going. So it will be Bruce leading it off. It's funny, the Lightning don't know who's up, but Trevor does.
Here's Bruce.
First pitch popped up, and Mateo's coming back on it, and Hartwell slides. Neither of them can make the play. Truly hit into no man's land. A base hit for Bruce Huson.
And here he is, Randy Dalby.
I mean, this guy has been an absolute nightmare for these Bombers.
I mean, we weren't even talking about him like that first game and a half.
Yeah, his first, I think, 4 or 5 at-bats, he struck out, he popped up, and then all of a sudden he walked once, and that just set him off. It's been nothing but homers and walks ever since. That one misses. The thing about Dalby, he's such a relaxed player.
Yeah.
Very Aaron Judgian in nature, where it's like, oh, what's that? I made it. No, all right, I'll probably get a hit next time. So calm, so even keel. That one 59, so Dalby goes up 2-0. Remember, in this league, if it's above 55 and the batter doesn't swing, it is a ball regardless. This is not a fast pitch league. This is a medium pitch league. Whoa, and a very interesting rise there from Bauer.
What happened?
I think I just got
You got bit?
by some sort of bug on my foot.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, but it was weird. A very weird sensation.
As Dalby takes a strike right there.
I wonder what bit me.
I don't know.
Oh, well. I'm sure I'll be fine. And that'll be ball 4 to Dalby. And I don't know what's going on. Oh, they're doing a pinch runner. It looks like Randy has to leave. I think he's got a flight to catch, and those first few games took quite some time, so he's gonna need to leave his Bombers. Now that adds an interesting wrinkle.
What is it? Is that a rattlesnake?
Oh my God! Oh, I think we just missed it. Whew, that was a close one. Oh, it's back!
We're in the desert, man.
It's
you
true.
gotta put your shoes on.
There's lots of, you know how I am about shoes, and the laces upon them. All right, here's Jaden Trout. So, this is what I was talking about, Trench. I mean, the Bombers just had a tremendous 5-run inning. They needed every inch of it. Then they get back out on the mound. Bruce with a bloop shot. Randy with a walk. All of a sudden, it's 2 on, no one out. As Trout swings through that one. So already, now Bauer is already pressing and stressing. Just 2 batters into this inning. It's just not what you want if you're the Bombers. You just need a little bit of a break. Something to go your way.
Man, if they could get a rollover right here to Hollis.
That's what I was thinking.
But Trout, he doesn't. When he hits the ball hard. Very, very hard.
Yes. So, I mean, but that can help. If he beats it into the ground and you field it, then you have more time to make to turn the double play. Big pitch here. Swung on and slapped foul. So we'll do it again. Boy, I tell you, I've really loved seeing this viewer count in the triple digits here on Twitch. We've hit triple digits a couple of times on TikTok. I think as we continue to stream, people will continue to follow and like and share on TikTok. And then, as that one is swung and missed, a big strikeout there for Bauer. When people eventually get curious and they find themselves, well, I'm on TikTok, I'm watching this every weekend anyway.
Yeah, well,
why don't I come to Twitch?
You got to remember, we just fired up our TikTok, and when that algorithm starts getting allegory things going, a lot more people will be watching that. As
Riley with a high fly ball, Mateo will call for it.
Riley just missed that one to blow this game.
Just missed it indeed.
Not blow it open, but tie it up.
Yep. And that'll bring up Purdy. So, a hit and a walk, and then 2 quick outs, and it comes down to Bauer Purdy here in the top of the 4th. Ground ball. Bauer knocks it down, fields it, fires, and that finishes the Lightning off.
That's exactly what the Bombers needed right there, and I'm telling you, they need to tack a couple more on as these Lightning. They're not going to go down quietly, just like the Bombers weren't, as we're going into the bottom of the 4th. You think the Bombers are going to score some more runs?
Well, Purdy's coming back in.
Okay.
That said, the Bombers have hit Purdy pretty all right today.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, they've been hitting everyone pretty all right today. It's not like they're getting shut out or anything. They had a few, a bit of a lull in the early bits of game 1, a bit of a lull in the late bits of game 2, but for the most part, in more innings than not, they've been competitive offensively. The problem is, with the wind starting to calm down a bit here, at least at the first channel, Purdy might be poised to get into Purdy mode where he just starts mowing guys down.
I'm going to let you handle the after-game interview.
Oh, I'd love to. That's a good thing to mention here. By the way, if you're on TikTok, here's another thing you can't do.
What?
You can't vote on who we bring into the booth at the end of the series. Now, it'll be someone from the Lightning because they've won the series. We almost always, maybe once in a blue moon we don't, but almost always we pick from the winning team. So there's guys to think about here. I know who my pick would be.
I mean, you'd have to do something almost player of the week or historically on the losing squad to be picked up here.
Or if someone throws a perfect game
Yeah.
in game 3 after losing the first 2, or they have a 7 home run outing or
Yeah.
something like that in close series. But it's going to be someone from the Lightning, so maybe it'll be Dahl. Oh no, it can't be Dahl because he's left. So maybe it'll be Spur, maybe it'll be Bruce. If you ask me,
I think it's Trout.
I was going to say my vote is Jalen Trout. The dreaded dribbler right back to Purdy fires casually, and there's one away.
The Bombers have to back up with a good inning right here offensively after you just almost gave up some runs.
Yeah.
You were in
Yes.
trouble. You got out of it. Now let's put some more pressure on the Lightning.
Well, what you don't want to do is you don't want to go down 1, 2, 3. You want to at least make them think a little bit more. But like I said, Purdy's starting to settle into his zone. The wind is nowhere near as bad as it once was. The sun is down. Everyone can see what's going on now. And that one is in there, but it's at 58. Remember, it's got to be 55 or under in order to be a called strike. Thanks to everyone on TikTok giving us all those lovely follows. We will be working on TikTok content in the not-too-distant future.
Mm-hmm.
However, the bulk of our content is on Twitch and, by extension, YouTube. Swing and a miss by Fernandez on the 3-2 cutter, 2 away.
Here's Hollis.
You can tell. I mean, Hollis is probably thinking this might be my last at bat. I think he really wants to hit a home run here.
Yeah.
If I'm the pitcher, I'm taking advantage of that. You know what I mean?
He was definitely trying.
Let's see what Purdy gives him here on 0-2. Up and away. And this one is grounded. Oh, it goes fair. Over to Bruce. Step and a throw, and that'll do it. And Hollis Hale, understandably confused by the trajectory of that.
Stoic.
He said, I'm going to stick to basketball. Oh, man, I don't blame him after that one. Quite the odd grounder.
Listen, I feel like there's a little bit a momentum shift, just a tiny bit. The Lightning were threatening, didn't come through. They get that kind of 1-2-3 inning there. I think the Lightning are going to put up a couple right here.
Well, I believe Trevor Bauer is out of innings, and that will bring in Max Fernandez. And so if there were a time to do it, it would be now when there's a brand new pitcher coming out there.
Yeah.
Mateo Fernandez warms up. This is a perfect time to thank everybody for coming to join us. I appreciate the chat being active and participatory. Thanks to our wonderful stream team, the 2 umpires, J-Dub and Taylor Briner. Thanks to Cody down in the dungeon for pushing all the buttons, making it all happen. And thanks to you, Trench, for joining me in the booth and for operating Skycam.
Yeah. It needed to be done. It gives the fans a different perspective.
Well, it doesn't give our TikTok fans any different.
No, they have the same one. It basically they're looking at the same side of the moon every night.
Yeah, they are locked in a media prison of sorts, whereas our Twitch fans can spread their wings and fly free. It's a 1-1 count here from Maximus Fernandez to Justin Spurrier. And that one just barely missed. I don't know how that one missed.
That was a good looking pitch. 2-1 here though.
All right, stream, it's time to start thinking about who you want to come up here. We'll provide you with options as a beautiful little pitch there from Max. But it's time to start thinking who made the most impact, specifically for the Lightning. I see a first-time chat asking what the rules are. I'll go over it right after this play. Ground ball, fielded, fired, got him. We play 6 innings of medium pitch wiffle ball. That's 55 miles an hour and under. 6-inning games, 6-man lineups, 6 fielders in the play. I think you see the trend. The rules are mostly similar to baseball, except for the fact that the batter starts with 1 strike. Once a ball's put in play, if you catch it, they're out. If it's a grounder, you have 5 seconds to field it and then throw it to either the strike zone or the backstop on a fly for an out. If it makes it past the singles line, which is essentially the infield line, if it makes it past that line, it's automatically a hit. There are some other wrinkles involved, but that's the basic gameplay. Pitch.
That's going to be a walk for Max.
He had 2 pitches in that at-bat where I feel like it should have hit, but it just didn't.
After allowing a 3-run shot off his hands, can he redeem himself? Jojo
Siwa? Inside. Outside. So Max struggling all of a sudden to find the zone. He's walked out at least once already today. Oof, nice little pitch right there. Max looks belabored at the moment. Taking his time, getting the ball, trying to get his head straight. This game could get real close real quick if he's not, if he's not careful, if he's not a barber about this. Swing and a miss at a sticker ball. 51 straight into the pan.
Nothing to feel bad about if you're Joe. That was just a disgusting pitch.
Yeah, that was nasty. I mean, if you're a veteran, you probably expect to hit that pitch, but when you're just getting started, it's like nothing you've ever seen before,
Trout he's one of those guys. He is up there ready to just put some doom on you.
Oh, and he has been assaulting these Bombers all day long. He had the big home run in Game 1. He had another home run in Game 2. He's been a little quiet here in Game 3. But let's see if he can do something here in what may be his last at-bat.
Long.
Pops it up. There's Hartwell. Nice little play. Nice little inning.
The wind was knocking it down. It was going to go a little bit further than that. But good inning for the Bombers.
Yep.
As they have to do it right here. They got to add a couple more.
Yeah, the Bombers got exactly what they needed. This could be their last chance to tack on before trying to finish off the Lightning. So if you're the Bombers, you really want to make these at-bats count. We are getting awfully close to sunset. These games have taken quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, what did we start at 4?
We started at 4. Normally, we're done in about 3 hours' time.
Yeah.
So a slightly longer than normal stream. We want to thank all of our awesome viewers on both TikTok and Twitch. We've been sitting between the two. We've been sitting at about anywhere between 150 and 250 at any given time. And, we love that. We know that, there were times where we were up closer to 400, 500, 600, and we will get back up there, especially now that we've got that TikTok back up. We're excited to be back. We're excited to be streaming at full blast. Here's the first pitch from Purdy. Check swing. J-Dub's going to ring him up. Strike 2. Our Irish friend is still with us. It's 3:30 in the morning.
Wow.
They said they were in it for the long haul, and it looks like they were in line. I'm also reading that text in an Irish accent. Swing and a miss by Hartwell.
Purdy chopping him down right there is Big Al. Going to be at bat now.
Well, Hartwell's got to feel good about his overall performance on the day. A couple of big-time hits, big home runs. And I believe he's the one who hit the ball, right? That ricocheted off Joe's hands and went into. So if you're Hartwell, you got to feel like you contributed in a real big way, and that'll bring up Big Al. He's yet to record a hit. He batted in Game 2 as well as here in Game 3, and He's not been able to make that many games because he's running the shop while his boys are out here playing.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a little rusty, and he swings and misses there. But I, as someone who played with him, he would go on streaks, man, where he would just tear the cover off the ball.
He hits the ball real hard. Remember, in his younger days, he was in the Yankees farm team.
You know,
or something like that, right?
I see someone in the TikTok saying, I need a better angle.
Come on.
How many times do I have to tell these folks to come over to Twitch? It's lost on me. Look, I know I'm being harsh. I know I'm being, I'm coming down with authority, but it's because I care. And it's because I want our TikTok fans to get the full experience. In order to do that, you got to be on Twitch. It's just the way it is. You get much better camera angles. You get the instant replay. And you get the commentation, the increased audio. You get stats and figures and the chat and the Wiffle points and the betting. You get it all, man.
Yeah, and you get to just form a relationship with people in the chat, the fan or other fans, the teams, everything.
Yep, I agree.
And that's
Couldn't
going to be a
agree more.
walk for Purdy.
Purdy, an uncharacteristic amount of walks today. I think in the early bits, it was probably due to the wind, but this one, ever more rare as Mateo swings and misses there. Oh-2 pitch. A little bit of a floater there, a change-up and a swing and a miss.
That was nasty.
That was nasty. So Purdy does his job. He holds the Bombers. Now the Bombers have one more job to do. They need 3 more outs.
And you got to remember Purdy with over 600.
Folks, we are going to ask who you want to bring up to the booth. We got a number of options here. Chad Phillips, Bruce Husung, Jake Purdy, Justin Spurrier, or Jaden Trout. I know my vote.
I'm in on that vote, too. Really a game changer in my books.
Yeah, I'd have Trout up here if it were me. But we'll see what chat wants. And again, to my people on TikTok, I wish you could vote. I do. I wish you could vote on TikTok, but you can't. You got to come to Twitch to vote to see who you want to come up and do the post-game interview. Jaden Trout taking an early lead here. We are in the top of presumably the last inning. It's been all Lightning I would say it was all Lightning for about 15 of these 18 innings. And then the Bombers came roaring back, and they are poised to take this game. They're just 3 outs away. Ball is low. Dalby cannot come up because Dalby is, as that ball's ripped for a single. Dalby has left the building. He needs to catch his flight. Dalby flies in here from Arizona. I see somebody typed Chad but didn't vote Chad. You got to vote or it doesn't count. That one's low. Here's Jake Purdy, knowing that his run means nothing.
Spinner.
Grounder. Fernandez. There's one. Double shuffle, and he misses.
That's a big miss by Hollis right there.
He's having one of his worst defensive outings, and he is an elite defender.
It's going to put up Jay Spur now.
Just to clarify, he's having a perfectly ordinary defensive day.
Yeah.
It's just that for his standards.
We got to remember, he's normally a third baseman. He's not making that throw as much.
Yep, you're right.
I probably... I wonder if Alex should be playing second over there.
Who's to say? It's a 1-2 count to Spurrier. 1 on, 1 out here. Ripped foul. Ooh, just foul. Spurrier has hit 3 or 4 balls in this series that have been smoked foul. His bat's just it's just been a bit sped up this whole series. Low and outside, 6-3 Bombers, top of the 6th. 1 out, 1 on. Ripped. Fernandez can't find it. Flips it to Hollis. He'll try again. Is it in time? That is over. So Hollis, the extra shuffle costing him a quarter of a second, and that ultimately led to the runner being safe at first. Remember, you got to turn that play in 5 seconds or less. Folks, the polls are awfully close to closing. We've only had about 13 people vote, so if you want to get your vote in, get it in now. Here's the pitch. outside.
This is a big at-bat for Bruce as Jaden's on deck. Bruce knows he's going to try to do anything he could do to give his teammate there, Jaden, a chance to at least tie.
Jaden would be the tying run, and Jaden has been one of the most impactful bats all series. Bruce takes low. It's 3-1. And Fernandez rushing a bit here.
It's red light for me. But he goes green.
Swing and a miss at 53 right down the dangus. Bruce adjusting his arm restraint. It looks like we have a clear winner of the poll, and it is, in fact, Jaden Trout.
And that's going to be ball 4 to bring up. Oh, I thought it was Jaden. It's going to be Joe.
Oh. I thought Jaden was. Oh, I guess Jaden's up
he's
next.
up next after that. Here we go.
All right, so
And
huge
T,
at bat.
they change
Oh.
pitchers. They're going to T-bow right
Interesting.
here.
I thought Trevor was out of innings, so they went to Max simply based on trying to shake things up.
Let me ask you. I think the reason I like the change is Bauer throws a screwball as if it was a left-handed pitcher throwing a
slider,
slider, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to either jam up Joe or it could probably maybe hit that outside tink, no contest.
Well, you got to throw strikes here, man. This is of all the bats on this squad. If I had to pick one, and it's no disrespect, it would either be Joe or it would be Sparkles, and that's just it's just an experience thing.
Yeah, of course.
So here we go. It's going to come down to this at bat, tying run at the plate. Another really exciting, enticing game here. Bauer on the mound.
Jaden would love an opportunity.
54, strike one.
Just gross.
Absolutely nasty. Can Trevor Bauer finish the Lightning off and secure a win for his team? Swing and a miss at a screwball in the dirt, and the Bombers are able to come out on top. They avoid getting swept, and a big sigh of relief from the Bombers. Meanwhile, the Lightning win another series, but once again fail to capitalize on the opportunity to sweep.
I feel like if Joe, who is just at bat, gets a little, he's a rookie. He needs experience. He needs some reps.
Well,
I think he could be something.
Well, you were talking about sitting Bruce. That could be a perfect opportunity.
All right, guys. I'm going to leave it up to Stein. It's going to be Jaden Trout up here. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. It'll be Legends, Vaders. They're at 4 o'clock. But before that, it's Cajuns and Owls, I believe, at 12. So, Steiners, I'm out of here, man.
Thank
Good
you,
job.
Trench.
Had a lot of fun. See you next week.
Trench. Thank you, Trench.
Way to go, PLW Nation and TikTok. Make sure you get over to Twitch tomorrow. We'll see you guys.
What up, TikTok? Don't go anywhere. We are going to do our post-game interview with this series' impact player, Jalen Trout. If you have questions that you'd like me to ask him, now is the time to type them in. Good night, Ireland. It was great to have you here. Yeah, man. Let's go. All right, here I see our interviewee approaching, so we'll trade Trench for Jaden, and yeah, that'll be a good interview. We'll have him put on the headphones and say his piece, and then we'll be out of here. So thanks for joining. Thanks for sticking around. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions for him? If not, I'm just gonna go off the top of the dome. I can feel him stomping up the stairs. He's a big-bodied boy. How many home runs? I'm pretty sure he only hit 2. Not that 2 is only. All right, here we go. We have security escorting Jaden Trout up this way. He's entering through the secret bookcase just off the camera. Come on in, Jaden.
What's up?
Get that headset on. How you doing, big fella?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Quite a performance that you put on there. Happy to see it. When you think of the Lightning, you think of guys like Bruce, and you think of guys like Purdy. And, up until this series, I don't think you think all that much about Jaden Trout. Can you talk a little bit about how you felt involved on this team and how you feel like you contributed?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm just, filling my role right now, trying to, feel some good ABs and seeing some good pitches, and starting to, find myself in the lineup. So I feel like I'm starting to do better, contribute to the team. So.
Game 1, tie game. It's going back and forth. You have an opportunity to take the lead for your team. You deliver with a home run. What's going through your head in an at-bat like that?
Yeah, absolutely. My approach right there was just to get a base hit. I was fortunate enough to get a home run right there and, give our team the lead right there. So I was super happy about that, You
love to hear it. You love to hear it. Now, I got to ask you some tough questions, too. Is that all right?
Yeah.
So the Lightning in recent series have been winning series, which you love to see, but it's been noted that you've been winning the first 2 games, and then you've had trouble closing out that 3rd game and completing sweeps. What do you think the Lightning need to do to take that next step so that they're competing with the Vipers and the Vaders, who are just not losing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing is for us to follow up on the first 2 games and start swinging the bat. Getting up early in the game, putting some runs up, because I think if we keep it tight, then other teams, they can swing the bat and get up in the game, and so we got to put some runs on there and put some pressure on the other team.
All right, one last question for you. There's a lot of great pitching on your team. Spurrier's been excellent. Purdy's been excellent. Sparkles came in and he was doing well. Do you study the pitching element of the game? Do you hope to elevate your pitching to where your hitting is currently at, or are you just in this to swing the ball and hit it hard?
Yeah, absolutely. I think down the line, if I would like to get back on the mound and start pitching again, but right now I'm definitely focused on swinging the bat. I think I've been doing pretty well doing that right now so far. So.
All right, Jaden Trout, this series MVP. Great to have you here. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
All right, PLW, that is going to just about do it for us. I want to thank everyone who was on the stream, be it TikTok or Twitch or beyond. Don't forget to give us a follow. Don't forget to give this a share. We will be back tomorrow with 2 more excellent series. I won't be here to do them for you, but I promise that the person who is will be almost as entertaining as me. They'll be close. Anyway, that's it for us. Thanks to the whole stream team, and thank you, PLW Nation. We're out of here.